Sir,
Yes, please. Hello.
I started the live stream on YouTube as well.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Here nearly 175 students have joined. We will
Yes,
wait
sir.
for just 5 more minutes. Hope Mamta Santosh ma'am has joined. Mamta.
Yes, ma'am. I have made her the host. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Vaibhav, shall we start?
Yes, sir. We are good to go now.
Yes, yes. It's already 300 on this Zoom,
Yes, sir.
and rest will join through YouTube, na?
Yes, sir. There also we are having around 100 people watching.
Okay, okay. So its total enrollment is 400. Should we wait for a couple of minutes? Because total strength is around 900. Or let them join in due.
Yes, sir. And it is getting
course,
saved
no
also on
worries.
YouTube, so they can watch the recording as well.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Good afternoon, all dear students. I am Professor Mahesh Deshpande, Head of the Department Economics. Along with my colleagues from the department, Professor Mamta Santosh, Professor Ruchi Savla, and Professor Shivani Parab, going to have this moderators session in the subject of economics. In the beginning, the Department of Economics is thankful to our principal ma'am, Dr. Shobna Vasudevan, for giving this opportunity to interact with the students and guide them for the March 22 examination, board examination. Well, now it is very clear that you are going to have offline examination starting from 4th of March. And if I'm not wrong, economics paper is on the 19th of March. Well, for last 2 years, I think you don't have that writing practice. You have lost that writing skills, and that was evident when we conducted one examination in the month of March, and many of the students could not complete the paper despite giving half an hour extra, or the length of the paper we could make out hardly 15 pages, 16 pages, 17 pages, whereas in economics you need to write many things to give justice to the answer. And therefore how to go about this examination without fear, with confidence. For that we are going to share our experiences. I have been teaching and correcting board papers attached with the board in different capacity. Okay, so in a better position to guide you all regarding board examinations. So I think we should proceed with this moderator session. Well, the session is divided into two parts. In the beginning, I'm going to explain you in general how to what you should do and what you should avoid so as to excel in the examination, get good marks. And secondly, we are also going to discuss one paper which was conducted in the month of Jan, and we have instructed you that you should be ready with your textbook, you should be ready with your paper that you wrote in the month of Jan, and pencil, pen, scale, whatever. Okay, so that our teacher will keep on guiding you, and accordingly you can take a glance and see where you stand and what you have written and where to improve upon. You can always ask question in the chat box, but not immediately. Let me complete and let other teacher Mamta Santosh madam complete it, and then you can ask question. Okay. Well, you know that for a success, proper planning is required, and the examination is not an exception. And as you know that not even 1 month is left to start the examination. So at this stage, we don't have ample time to prepare maybe economics and other subject. So in the shortest possible time, how to cover more so that so that you can excel. No doubt we have less time, but then still we can plan properly and try to achieve maximum. So well planned is half done. Okay. Without planning, you study, you start with one topic and then decide, I am going to keep it for option. Then that time and efforts got wasted. You prepare something and then you realize उसपे board तो कुछ पोस्टा ही नहीं है. It is deleted 25% में. So you plan properly. Okay, so well planned is half done. Let me tell you, when you are failing to plan, you are planning to fail. Okay, so proper planning is required for achieving excellent results. So plan properly. It is not confined to the subject of economics, but for all the subject. Now remaining days, you should not think of count of number of days, but even number of hours. Okay, every minute is now important for you. So plan it properly and excel in all the subjects, particularly economics. Well, student keep on guessing answers कैसा लिखने का, क्या लिखने का, okay, introduction देने का, क्या नहीं देने का, question ये पूछा है, why to draw diagram, assumption to the law of demand is asked, then why to state the law, and so on. So let me tell you, as an examiner or moderators, what instruction we receive from the board. Okay, when we receive the model answer paper, to the examiners and the moderators, three important points are mentioned over there. Instruction to the examiners and moderators of HSC board examination. First of all, whatever model answer paper they give, these are the guidelines for the assessment. That means not proper answer is given. They give important points. Okay. Examiners and moderators are requested to give proper weightage to the understanding of the subject shown by the student, whether student has understood the subject or not. As I told you, law of DMU is asked. Okay, assumptions to the law. First assumption what? Single use, continuity, divisibility, rationality. But if you write the statement of the law in the beginning, okay, he has understood. Law of demand with assumption is asked, but you just mentioned these are the exceptions to the law. Yes, you have understood everything. Question is asked on MU for 2 marks. Identify and explain, and you are showing it diagrammatically. Very good. You are writing the formula. That means you have understood, and there you are likely to get good marks. So you have to create that impression that I know everything. Sometimes what happens, answer is too lengthy. Okay, determinants of demand, factors influencing demand, and it is asked for 4 marks. Or price is the only determinant of demand. Agree, disagree? You say disagree. Then kitna points likhne ka? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10, 12 points. Can anyone write 12 points? It will be too lengthy. So then what to do? मैं तो 6 point लिखेगा, 5 ही लिखेगा, वैसा मत करो. Try to write as much. That's why we need more speed. And secondly, if you write 7, 8 points, then at least mention remaining 4 points. That creates an impression that you have understood everything. And then here examiner normally gives 3 out of 4. He will give you 4 out of 4. And then let me tell you, as far as economics is concerned, examiners and moderators can use their best judgment for the assessment of answers. For example, 12 points ka 8 points you have explained and just mentioned 2-3 points. So I get that impression that you know everything, but you did not have much time, so you have just mentioned. I can use my own judgment. Okay, so always try to impress the examiner and the moderators. Okay, and try to get maximum marks. Knowledge is important. Okay, long run mein to knowledge counts, but here you have good knowledge, then why not get reflected in marks? So you have to think of topping the list in the subject of economics. बोर्ड में फर्स्ट आना कैसे आ सकता है? And Podar has that history. Couple of years back when the board examination was conducted, okay, March 20 precisely, one of our student, Isha Damle, stood first in the board. Okay, and I think in sixth student in succession, and she also topped the list of economics, first in economics, I think 97 or so. So you should aim for high percentage, and for that you need to what you call impress examiner, moderators, and even chief moderators. Okay. So first of all, just don't to stick to the what you call question kya pucha hai, what are the types of utility. Then first define what is utility. That shows that you have understood everything. Okay, and then you are writing, your answer is complete. If question is asked, okay, relation between TU and MU, dot diagram, prepare table, formula, it should be complete in every respect. Well, important tips while writing the paper. Please keep these points in mind while writing 12th economics paper. Now, some students have that tendency, अरे भर भर के लिखो बस, quantity, बहुत लिखा तो बहुत marks मिलता है. No, you have to stick to quality. Okay, कुछ भी rubbish लिखो मत, stick to quality. Okay, and when you write quality, you get sufficient quantity also. Sachi, I will come to the tomorrow suggestions. Okay. First of all, I told you that you need to write all the points, but if you don't have that much time, then at least label the points. 12 points, then write 7, 8 points, and 4th point just apart from this, season, fashion, advertisement also influences demand. Yes, that creates an impression that you know everything. Okay, so not quantity, but quality. Okay, and let me tell you that when you stick to quality, you get sufficient quantity. Don't bother about quantity. बहुत बड़ा करने को मत जाओ, पहला तो तुमको लिखने का आदत ही नहीं है अभी तो 2 साल में. Where is the writing excessive, something irrelevant things? अभी भी मुझे पता है, मैं देखा question was asked law of demand with exceptions, and student write what is demand and how it is relative concept, and there are 5 types of demand, joint and composite, and अरे नहीं चाहिए. Introduction, the law of demand given by Alfred Marshall in his book Principles of Economics, published in the year so and so, establishes functional relationship between price and quantity demanded. Statement of the law in quotation sign, other things being equal, kya hai likho, and then Q is a function of P, or that matter you can write D as a function of P. Okay, बाकी का irrelevant कुछ लिखो मत, and ये सब लिखते लिखते तुम्हारा 4 पेज होने वाला है. टेबल है, एंड डायग्राम है, एंड देन assumptions है, एंड exceptions है. सो unnecessary things कुछ मत लिखो, जो पूछा है वही लिखो. ओके, नाउ 2 marks के लिए क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड. Desire supported by ability and willingness to pay for it. 1 mark is for identifying demand. And then you write few lines, how demand is a relative concept. Okay, and how all demands are desire, but all desires are not demand. अरे 1 mark के लिए 2 marks total है, 1 for identifying, 1 for writing few things. But 1 mark के लिए कितना लिखने का? आता बहुत है ना हमको. फिर demand, and there are several factors influencing demand like price and income and price of substitute, and then the law of demand is given by Alfred Marshall. अरे ये पूछा ही नहीं है, क्या पूछा है वो देखो. बहुत आता है करके बहुत लिखेगा, and if you are giving more time here, then your paper won't get completed, and if you can't complete the paper, just forget getting good marks. Time management is very important. Stick to quality. According to marks लिखो, 1 + 1, 1 mark for identifying, 1 mark for writing few lines, तो 4, 5, 6 lines है ना. Okay, additional utility derived from consuming additional unit. Identify marginal utility. No, marginal utility क्या उसका फॉर्मूला, एक ग्राफ छोटा निकाल दिया, mu can be positive, 0, negative, बस हो गया और 1 मार्क मिल गया. So stick to quality. Irrelevant kuch mat likho, and that spoils impression also. Examiner, moderator feels that you are trying to fool him, and फिर वो जानबूझ के कम marks देता है, and you are wasting your time and even examiner and moderator's time. वो unnecessary चीज क्यों पढ़ने को बोल रहे हो? So stick to quality. Yes. What are the features of utility? Define utility, and then feature one, how it is different from usefulness, how it is different from pleasure, how it is different from satisfaction, and so on. So stick to quality. Okay. Don't दिमाग में क्वांटिटी बहुत लिखने का ये मत सोच के चलो. And when you stick to quality, let me tell you that you get sufficient quantity, okay, which you can write in stipulated time period of 3.5 hours. Okay. So time management, matlab abhi this year is an exceptional year. So your time, you are fortunate that you have more time. Kitna time hai? 3.5 hours. बराबर है. Normally 3 hours है. And let me tell you कि तुमको half an hour ज़्यादा मिला है, मतलब 210 minutes to write, and 10 minutes before you will get paper to read. So you can read carefully and decide which questions to be attempted, क्या लिखना है, क्या नहीं है. Okay, and then you calculate. बहुत सारे students, they keep on asking, sir, for 8 marks how much to write, and for 4 marks how much to write, and for distinguish how much to write. So first of all, consider time available to write. How much time is available? So 210 divided by 80 marks. 80 marks का पेपर है, तो roughly 2.6 minutes आता है. You can take it 2.5 only, lower side में लो, because your paper should be completed 5 minutes, 10 minutes early, so that you can take a glance. Last moment में कुछ छूटा नहीं है ना, वो देखो. So 2.5 minutes ही पकड़ के चलते हैं हम लोग. तो then you decide. अभी तुम बोलो ना 4 marks के लिए कितना लिखने का, मैं बोलता हूँ 10 minutes में कितना लिख सकते हैं उतना, and सबका speed same नहीं है. I may specify 3 pages, 4 pages. Don't go by that. And if you are taking more time for one answer, definitely less time is available for next answer. So, okay, 10 minutes for 4 marks. And 10 minutes में normally कितना लिख सकता है? Definitely, अभी का तुम्हारा speed कितना है मुझे मालूम नहीं है. Normally, a student can write 2 sides of the तुम्हारा answer sheet, 2 sides of the full script. Okay, so even 1.5 page भी तुम ठीक से लिख सकेगा, quality answer लिखेगा, enough है. For long 8 marks के लिए कितना लिखने का? You have 20 minutes time. Okay, so ये logic apply करो. ये देखो मैंने लिखा है for 8 marks you have 20 minutes. Okay, for 4 marks, applying that logic of 2.5 minutes per mark, you have 10 minutes for 4 marks, and 2 marks के लिए distinguish होता है, identify and explain होता है. So there you have 5 minutes. So that is, I think, if you have a normal speed, you can write properly and complete the paper. But let me tell you, I took half an hour to complete 8 marks. का मतलब for next answer you have 10 minutes less. So try to. That's why अभी से जरा एक आधा आंसर प्रिपेयर करके लिख के देखो whether you are able to complete long answer. Law of DMU with assumption and exception पूछ सकते हैं. Output method of measuring national income with precaution to other value added method, final goods method, GDP, GNP का concept, and then precautions, whether you are able to write in 20 minutes or not. वो जरा देखो. Okay. Parth, I will come back to you regarding points of differences. When we discuss all types of question ना, तभी तुम्हारा सारा query sort out हो जाएगा, and then you are free to. तुम्हारे mind में जो questions है अभी सिर्फ रखो, अभी मत पूछो बार बार. Okay, बाद में तो तुम्हारा most of the questions है वो sort out हो जाएगा. Okay, but end में we are there to answer all the doubts you are facing. Okay, this is fine. So ये simple logic है, you have to apply, then only तुम्हारा paper complete होगा. You are taking more time for one answer, मतलब less time for the next. Don't do that. This is upper limit. 8 marks के लिए you have 20 minutes. So 2 आंसर्स 20 20 40 मिनट्स कर सकते हो. मे बी से क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 ब्रीफ आंसर्स 10 मिनट्स मतलब हाफ एन आवर है. मे बी अग्री डिसअग्री 4 मार्क्स का है तो अगेन 30 मिनट्स है, एंड सो ऑन. ठीक है. सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. And let me tell you that you need not have to take any screenshots or something because ये YouTube पे ये recorded रहेगा. So not to worry, you can watch again and again as per your need. Okay. Now, if you want to get excellent marks, now what do you mean by excellent marks? इधर 80 में से 76 तक तो मिल सकता है. And internal में ABT aptitude based test में 20 on 20 you can score 76 plus 20 96. And just imagine the girl who scored 97 marks. Okay, so मिल सकता है provided that you complete the paper. Okay, you write best paper of 70 marks. Can you expect 72? Not possible. And you write 80 marks paper, you can think of getting 74, 75, 76 also, and 77 also. So without completing the paper, you don't expect good marks. When you sir, I could complete only 60 marks का, तो 60 में से max to max 60 मिल सकता है, 65 भी नहीं मिल सकता है. So the one who is aiming to get maximum marks, first your focus should be on completion of paper. Speed is important, and abhi ek judgment लो, write, keep writing the papers. You'll come to know whether 3.5 hours में complete हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है. And नहीं हो रहा है तो then you have to say try to cut short your answers without affecting quality. एक impression देने का, you know, and you will be judged on the basis of what is written in the paper. Okay, तुम्हारा पेपर कोई दूसरा ही चेक करने वाला है. Okay, and therefore you will be judged only on the basis of what is written in the paper. So ऐसा impression create करो कि you know everything. Time कम है, yes, I understand. Then थोड़ा ऐसा present करो कि yes, he should feel कि अरे इसको तो सब आता है. Okay, draw diagrams wherever possible to improve presentation. Some student says, sir, distinguish में diagram का जरूरत है क्या? Do we need to draw diagram in identify and explain? Do we need to draw diagram in agree disagree? मैं बोलता हूं except objectives. Draw diagram wherever possible. मतलब क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 20 मार्क्स का ऑब्जेक्टिव है, उधर डायग्राम का जरूरत नहीं है. बाकी हर जगह पे डिस्टिंग्विशेस, व्हाई नॉट? TUMU, expansion and contraction, expansion and increase. Draw diagram wherever possible. Draw diagram. Identify and explanation, identify and explain, why not? 2 marks का है, उधर भी question is ask something related. Okay, when favorable factor because of favorable factor demand rises, it is called as increase. Okay, so it is called as dash, so you write increase identified, and then increase ka diagram, same price, more quantity is demanded, demand का shift to the right, and बाकी का factor due to which it happens, maybe say reduction in taxes, maybe say increase in population, advertisement, and so on. Create that and impress diagram देखेगा तो क्या होता है, examiner or moderator won't bother to read what is written, समझ जाते हैं उसको. So wherever, फिर it could be 4 marks, 8 marks में तो चाहिए, 4 mark के लिए चाहिए, 2 mark के लिए भी diagram निकालो. Wherever possible draw diagram, and then एक advantage है diagram का, the length of the answer gets automatically extended. बड़ा लगता है, तुमको लगता है ना बहुत लिखने का, डायग्राम निकालो बड़ा बड़ा. ओके, एंड एक साइकोलॉजी है कि बड़ा है मतलब अच्छा है. एंड देन एग्जामिनर आल्सो रेज 2 पेज लिखा है, चलो 3.5 आउट ऑफ 4 या 4 आउट ऑफ 4. सो ड्रॉ डायग्राम, डायग्रामेटिक प्रेजेंटेशन से ऑटोमेटिकली मोर स्पेस इज ऑक्यूपाइड एंड आंसर बड़ा लगता है. ओके, सो हैव दैट. ड्रॉ डायग्राम्स फॉर 2 marks, yes, for 4 marks, yes, for बराबर है, maybe say 8 marks, yes, diagram निकालो. I told you, accept objectives wherever possible, wherever you feel you can incorporate diagram. Distinguishes में yes, draw diagram. Some will say, sir, वो point consider होता है क्या? Very much. Okay, example be considered as point. Don't worry. So draw diagrams, but correctly draw करो. That is more important. If you draw wrong diagram ना तो पूरा impression ही खराब हो जाएगा. बाकी सब बराबर लिखा, diagram draw wrong किया. So draw neatly and correctly. That is very, very important. Okay. Okay. Saloni, I will come to you. Yes, you can. Next. Now, पहला तो अभी of course I know that most of you ने, all of you have studied, you know the syllabus, बराबर है, and you know the content and you are prepared and सब कुछ पता है. But then still, if someone is lagging behind and no sir अभी सब नहीं कर सकता हूँ and अभी मैं क्या करूँ, तो जरा सा देखो ना, ये सिलेबस है, 10 चैप्टर्स है, यूनिट वाइज, बराबर है. पहला तो टोटल डिवाइडेड इनटू माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स, फर्स्ट 5 चैप्टर्स, बराबर है, एंड नेक्स्ट 5 चैप्टर्स 6 to 10 मैक्रो के अंदर आता है. एंड देन ओके, विथ ऑप्शंस देखो कितना कितना मार्क्स का आ सकता है. तो योर फोकस शुड बी ऑन चैप्टर नंबर 3. Prepare it properly, which is divided into 2 parts, A and B, demand analysis and elasticity of demand. And let me tell you, in the paper, you will find questions of around 24 marks. अरे एक चैप्टर पे 24 मार्क्स का, 80 मार्क्स का सॉल्व करने का है. ओके, तो करो अच्छा से. एंड इफ यू डू ओनली 5 चैप्टर्स, मैं नहीं बोलता यू हैव टू डू 100%, you have to do 110%. ज्यादा ही करो, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट देन दोज हु आर रनिंग शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम, यू हैव टू प्लान प्रॉपरली. 10 चैप्टर्स है ना, आई विल एडवाइज यू फर्स्ट 5 चैप्टर्स प्रॉपरली करो, प्रॉपरली. ओके, हाउ मेनी मार्क्स पेपर यू विल बी इन अ पोजिशन टू अटेम्प्ट, पोजिशन टू अटेम्प्ट. तो introduction to microeconomics and macroeconomics, you can expect around 10 marks का question, and that is left to you. तुमको attempt करने का तो करो, किधर किधर पूछा है, distinguish पूछा है, microeconomics, macroeconomics, what are the features of microeconomics, subject matter of macroeconomics, yes, attempt it. 10 marks. Utility analysis 10 marks, demand 12 plus 12, 24 marks, supply analysis 10 marks, forms of market 10, and add करके देखो 64 marks. Sirf micro, half of the syllabus, and you will be in a position to attempt 64 marks. Barabar. So plan properly. And let me tell you, you do entire syllabus. And when it comes to selecting the question, if 8 marks के लिए पूछा है output method with precaution and law of demand with assumption, I will advise you go for law of demand. तुम बोलते हैं सर दोनों अच्छा आता है, मुझे पता है दोनों अच्छा आता है, बट किधर ज्यादा मार्क्स मिलने का चांसेस है? लॉ ऑफ डिमांड. जिधर स्टेटमेंट है, बराबर है, इंट्रोडक्शन है, एंड टेबल है, ग्राफ डायग्राम है, एंड assumptions और exceptions. Whereas आउटपुट मेथड, बराबर है, फिर जीडीपी जीएनपी लिखने का क्या नहीं है और क्या लिखने का, एंड नो डायग्राम, नथिंग, देयर यू आर लाइकली टू गेट लेस मार्क्स. मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस है, स्कोरिंग कम होता है. कॉजेस ऑफ पब्लिक एक्सपेंडिचर, ओके, या फिर दैट मैटर सम अदर आंसर, मनी मार्केट, कैपिटल मार्केट, recent development in money market, yes, but no diagram, dry है. तो बेस्ट वे, maybe 4 marks, maybe 8 marks, बराबर है, attempt questions related to micro, more scoring. So do everything. सब कुछ नहीं हो गया अभी तक, ठीक है. those who are lagging behind, plan your studies properly. 5 चैप्टर भी ठीक से किया, 64 मार्क्स का पेपर अटेम्प्ट होता है. एंड देन छोटा छोटा चैप्टर्स है, इंडेक्स नंबर तुम मैथ्स में भी करते हो, उधर इजी हो जाता है. फॉरेन ट्रेड तो क्या 2-3 पेज का है. प्लान इट. and some selected question from money market, public finance and national income, and you will be in a position to attempt full paper. बराबर है. But then and even नेशनल इनकम थोड़ा अंडरस्टैंडिंग प्रॉपर चाहिए, बट 12 मार्क्स है. पब्लिक फाइनेंस थोड़ा बड़ा है, इजी है, बट 12 मार्क्स है. तो ये जस्ट प्लान इट. properly. Okay, that is very important. This is the syllabus. You are well aware of it. Most of you, or that matter, all of you must have done everything properly. But those who are for some reason lagging behind, so bahut, and let me tell you, for economics, you have 4 days holiday. Okay, so 4 days में भी बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. Don't keep anything for the last moment. Okay, तुम्हारा तो बहुत जन का बहुत लिख के हो गया है, बहुत जन ने पेपर्स भी चेक करने को दिया था, मुझे पता है. So I know you are well prepared, but for some reason तुम में से 2-5 जन भी ऐसा रहेगा जिसको अभी तक सर चालू ही नहीं किया है. I'm lagging behind. Don't worry. Okay. That's why I said plan करो, फिर पहला 5 चैप्टर ही पहला करो, 64 मार्क्स तुम्हारा फिक्स हो गया. And then some few questions इधर उधर. फॉरेन ट्रेड एकदम इजी है, बराबर है. इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड एंड बैलेंस ऑफ ट्रेड, बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट का डिस्टिंग्विश, ऐसा 2-4 किया, उधर से भी आ जाएगा. So keep marks into consideration. When I'm doing this chapter, how many marks का cover हो सकता है? And board normally follow this rigidly. Okay, and so that your purpose will be served. And I repeat, you know everything, you know all the answer with option, then randomly kuch bhi mat select karo. You should give preference to questions related to microeconomics. Where more exact hai, macroeconomics may not be that exact. Okay. Now, earlier up to, I won't use the word last year, but last examination, बोर्ड ने जब भी लिया मार्च 20 में, तभी तो 3 टाइप का क्वेश्चन होता था, फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स, ट्रू और फॉल्स एंड मैच द फॉलोइंग. ओके, बट नाउ पहला तो एंड इट यूज्ड टू बी 16 मार्क्स, एंड नाउ कितने मार्क्स का आता है? ओके, तो नियरली अभी 20 मार्क्स का आता है. ओके, Krish is asking extra question is attempted, will it be checked? तो अभी तुमने पूछा है तो मैं बताता हूं. फर्स्ट, डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन, बराबर है, 5-6 डिस्टिंग्विश है, 5 पूछते हैं, यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट एनी 3. बराबर, तो मेरे को 5 आता है, मैं लिख दूं ना, डोंट डू दैट. आइडेंटिफाई एंड एक्सप्लेन, आई नो ऑल 5, लिख देता हूं ना, डोंट डू दैट. आई विल टेल यू व्हाट यू शुड डू इज, से आइडेंटिफाई एंड एक्सप्लेन है ना. ओके, फर्स्ट 3 बोला है ना, 3 ही लिखो, एंड और 2 आता है ना, जगह छोड़ के आगे निकल जाओ. Go with distinguishes, go with short answer, go with agree disagree, and पेपर कंप्लीट हो गया. अभी और 10 मिनट टाइम है, कम बैक एंड देन उधर लिखो चौथा एंड पांचवा. नहीं तो अभी इफ यू स्टार्ट राइटिंग 5, मेरे को 5वां आता है, लेट एग्जामिनर चेक व्हाट एवर यू वांट, बट उधर पेपर कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ तो. सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड व्हाट बोर्ड सेज, if where students are supposed to write 3 distinguishes and a student write 4, so what we do, what we are supposed to do, so we are supposed to assess all 1 2 3 4 जो लिखा है, and सबको marks assign करना है, and select the best 3, not first 3 but best 3. okay, so possible है कि तुमको पहला ही distinguish में out of 2 1 मिला है, and next इसमें 2 2 2, then your total will be 6 and not 5. We don't consider the first 3, we consider best 3. So there is no harm in attempting extra. harm इतना ही है कि पहले ही तुम extra लिखते बैठेगा तो पेपर ही complete नहीं होगा. So you want to write extra? Yes, no problem. But पहला पेपर complete करो and then जगह छोड़ के जाओ flow में. Okay, उधर and then. Okay. So objective के बारे में किसी ने कुछ पूछा है, I will come to you. बराबर है, पहला ये मैं क्या डिस्कस करता हूं देखो. ठीक है, वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग एवरीवन ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, लिसन केयरफुली एवरीवन. इफ समटाइम्स, एकदम बहुत रेयर है, बट ऐसा हो गया कि एक आधा क्वेश्चन तुमको लगता है कि थोड़ा सा आउट ऑफ ट्रैक है, सिलेबस में नहीं है, या एरर है, व्हाट वी शुड डू. सो नॉर्मल टेंडेंसी है कि वी डोंट राइट, वी डोंट अटेम्प्ट, ये कुछ अलग ही पूछा है. तो माय एडवाइस इज ओके कि व्हाट यू शुड डू, कि तुम बाकी का अटेम्प्ट करो. ओके, एंड समझो, फॉर एग्जांपल क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड इन बैंकिंग सेक्टर में क्या पूछा है, मे बी से फंक्शंस ऑफ आईडीबीआई। अरे आईडीबीआई का फंक्शन हमको किधर पढ़ाया गया है? तो देन यू अटेम्प्ट अदर 3, एंड वो जो फंक्शंस ऑफ आईडीबीआई पूछा है ना, वो सिर्फ क्वेश्चन लिखो, just leave some space, forget, go ahead. What will happen? Say if 1%, 1%, ये chances तो ना के बराबर है, but अगर हो गया, if there is any printing error, any such a question included which is not in the syllabus, तो बोर्ड का रूल है full marks दे दो उसको. But किसको? The one who attempts it. तुमने अटेम्प्ट ही नहीं किया, नहीं नहीं ये तो कुछ अलग ही है, मैं नहीं छोड़ करता हूं, तो देन यू विल नॉट. बट दोज हु ट्राई टू अटेम्प्ट, तुमने सिर्फ क्वेश्चन लिखा, जगह छोड़ दिया, तो यू ट्राई टू अटेम्प्ट, यू विल गेट 4 out of 4 इफ इट इज आस्क्ड फॉर 4 marks. सो अगर ऐसा कुछ भी लगता है तो जस्ट लिख देना, बराबर है. समथिंग यू फील कि ये सिलेबस में नहीं है एंड गलती से आ गया है, या कुछ प्रिंटिंग एरर है, क्या करने का, लिख दो. आंसर पूरा करो ही मत, सिर्फ क्वेश्चन लिख के जरा जगह छोड़ने का, आगे जाने का. बिकॉज बोर्ड सेज दैट इफ देयर इज एनी मिस्टेक, तो स्टूडेंट शुड गेट द बेनिफिट एंड स्टूडेंट विल गेट full marks provided that you try to attempt. That is very important. Okay. Sir, when extra question, then we have extra in front of the question. No need of it. You write it. सो हम क्वेश्चन, राइट क्वेश्चन मतलब क्या है, क्वेश्चन नंबर प्रॉपरली लिखा एंड यू जस्ट स्टार्ट बिगिनिंग एंड डॉट 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 करेगा तो भी चलेगा, एग्जामिनर विल कम टू नो व्हाट यू वांट टू आंसर. ओके, बट इवन क्वेश्चन नंबर क्लियरली लिखा अच्छा है. इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर दैट यू राइट द क्वेश्चन प्रॉपरली, बट उतना लिखने को टाइम नहीं है. ठीक है. नाउ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, अभी देखो. ओके, we should write headings in different between or not. If you write, then for all the points you should write the heading. बराबर, एक को हेडिंग दिया दूसरा को नहीं दिया, वैसा मत करो. तुम बोर्ड का ही डिस्टिंग्विशेस देखो, सम ऑफ द डिस्टिंग्विशेस के लिए दे हैव माइक्रो मैक्रो के लिए डिस्टिंग्विश दिया है, एंड सम ऑफ द डिस्टिंग्विशेस के लिए दे हैव नॉट. सो उनका एक ही है कि इफ यू वांट टू गिव हेडिंग, गिव इट फॉर ऑल द पॉइंट्स, अदरवाइज यू डोंट. ओके शुभम, अभी एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट के बारे में मैं बात कर रहा हूँ क्या? नहीं ना, आगे बात करूंगा तभी पूछो ना, डोंट मिक्स अप. सो नाउ दिस इज अबाउट बोर्ड का 80 मार्क्स का पेपर में 20 मार्क्स का ऑब्जेक्टिव्स पूछते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, एंड दे विल आस्क 4 टाइप्स, बट 8 पॉसिबल टाइप का क्वेश्चन है, उसमें से कौन सा भी आ सकता है. ओके आदित्य, लेट अस अज्यूम इट दैट कि कट पोर्शन से पूछेगा तो वी विल ट्रीट इट एज आउट ऑफ पोर्शन. तुम अटेम्प्ट करने को सिर्फ क्वेश्चन तो लिख दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. अभी वो बोर्ड क्या डिसीजन लेता है, इट्स बोर्ड्स कंसर्न है. ओके ठीक है, पहला भी इधर सब जन ध्यान दो, बाद में हम बात करते हैं. ओके, इट इज नॉट कंपल्शन जागृति कि हेडिंग देना ही चाहिए. इट इज ऑलवेज बेटर दैट इफ यू गिव, बट विदाउट हेडिंग ऑल्सो यू राइट गुड पॉइंट्स, 3-4 पॉइंट्स. बराबर है, कितना पॉइंट लिखने का मैं बताऊंगा, तो देन यू विल गेट 2 out of 2. नाउ देखो क्या क्या टाइप का क्वेश्चन पूछा है, एंड इसमें एक टाइप का क्वेश्चन है ना, वो जरा सा ट्रिकी है. चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. अरे 4 ऑप्शन दिया, उसमें से करेक्ट है 5 आएगा, 5 कंपलसरी है. मार्क्स विथ ऑप्शन, क्या ऑप्शन कुछ है ही नहीं है, 5 सो 5 मार्क का ही है. कंप्लीट द कोरिलेशन, माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स ट्री, मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स डैश फॉरेस्ट. बराबर है, माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स इज स्लाइसिंग मेथड, मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स इज डैश लंपिंग मेथड. सो कंप्लीट द कोरिलेशन, शुड नॉट बी एन इश्यू. गिव इकोनॉमिक टर्म है, बराबर है. गिव इकोनॉमिक टर्म मतलब क्या, यहाँ पर दिया है डिजायर बैक बाय एबिलिटी एंड विलिंगनेस टू पे फॉर इट. इकोनॉमिक टर्म इज डिमांड. ओके, सो वैसे 5 रहेंगे. फाइंड द ऑड वर्ड आउट. सो माइक्रो से 3 रहेगा और उसमें से एक से प्राइस ऑफ कमोडिटी, हाउस होल्ड, बिजनेस फर्म एंड नेशनल इनकम. तो ऑड वन आउट नेशनल इनकम शुड नॉट बी अ प्रॉब्लम. कंप्लीट द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट रहेगा, चूज द रॉन्ग पेयर, बराबर है, तो नॉट एट ऑल प्रॉब्लम. आइडेंटिफाई द राइट ग्रुप ऑफ पेयर्स फ्रॉम द गिवन ऑप्शन, नॉट एट ऑल. इधर रॉन्ग है तो इधर राइट है, प्रॉब्लम नहीं. प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ जरा 7th में आता है, असर्शन एंड रीजनिंग क्वेश्चन, बराबर है. अभी मेरे पास टेक्स्ट बुक है एंड टेक्स्ट बुक में एक क्वेश्चन मेरे पास सामने है, पेज नंबर 35. इफ यू हैव टेक्स्ट तो देखो, तो क्वेश्चन असर्शन क्या दिया है देखो. Elasticity of demand explains that one variable is influenced by another variable. Okay. And reasoning दिया है, the concept of elasticity of demand indicates the effect of price and changes in other factors on demand. तो पहला तो A is false, no, A is true. तो उनका ऑप्शंस क्या क्या देखो, सॉरी ए क्या है, फर्स्ट ऑप्शन क्या है, ए इज ट्रू एंड ए इज ट्रू मतलब असर्शन एंड रीजनिंग इज फॉल्स, नो, दोनों ट्रू है. दूसरा क्या है कि असर्शन इज फॉल्स एंड रीजनिंग इज ट्रू, नो. देन ए एंड आर ट्रू एंड आर इज करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ ए, जरा देखो ना, एंड यू कैन इजीली मेक आउट दैट R is the correct explanation of A. चौथा ऑप्शन दिया है A and R are true, but R is not correct explanation of A. So यहाँ जरा सा confusion हो सकता है. You have to be very clear. Okay. And how many marks one should think of scoring in this? I say 20 on 20. You are aiming to get 96, 97, 98. Then यहाँ marks जाने का सवाल ही नहीं आता है. जरा सा care लोगे ना तो you can score 20 on 20. Okay. So first question, objectives, and your first step to excel in the subject is objective पे focus करो. अच्छा, question ऐसा आता है, बहुत सारे student क्या करते हैं मालूम है कि sir ये objectives है ना, full score होते हैं ना, मैं last में आराम से attempt करता हूँ. बिल्कुल नहीं. You should do it in the beginning. Last में कुछ नहीं रखने का. The reason is that कि तुम्हारा पेपर नॉर्मली somehow you manage to complete, बराबर है, whether you are given 3 hours or 3.5 hours, बराबर है. बिगिनिंग में एकदम कूल माइंडेड है तभी अटेम्प्ट करो. एंड मैंने जो लॉजिक तुमको बताया कितना 2.6 मिनट्स, 2.5 मिनट्स, तो 20 मार्क्स के लिए ऐसा देखेगा तो यू हैव 50 मिनट्स. 50 मिनट्स मत लो, नॉर्मल आराम से करो. यू विल बी एबल टू अटेम्प्ट 20 मार्क्स का. 20 नहीं, 25-30 मिनट्स में हो जाएगा. वेरी कंफर्टेबल, बराबर है. लास्ट में रखोगे ना, घाई घाई में ना मिस्टेक होता ही है. सो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के लिए एकदम कूल माइंडेडली अटेम्प्ट करना है. अच्छा, क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड एंड यू आर नॉट श्योर. Many times when we assess the board papers, so we will find blanks, लिखा ही नहीं है. Microeconomics tree, macroeconomics dash, उधर भी डैश ही है, कुछ लिखा नहीं. अरे क्यों नहीं लिखा? उसका रीजन है, उसको लगता है कि अभी पता नहीं, बाद में एंड में बरोबर लिखेगा. डोंट डू दैट. राइट समथिंग. बोलते सर गलत लिखा तो देन यू कैन चेंज योर आंसर, बरोबर है. चेंजिंग ऑब्जेक्टिव आंसर्स आर अलाउड. यू कैन चेंज इट एनी नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स. Okay, don't worry about it. So that is one very important thing. Write it, and while writing the paper आगे लिखते गए you realize that अरे मैंने उसका ऐसा लिखा था but वो ऐसा नहीं है. Reward of land, okay, wages. बाद में realize हो गया अरे wage तो लेबर को मिलता है, फिर reward of land का wage नहीं हो सकता, rent है. Go back, rectify, उधर cut करो wages, rent लिख दो. That will be considered. Correction is allowed. You don't have to take a signature of the examiner or something that you have changed some answer. कुछ नहीं, बस change it. But वो complete करो, उधर ही लिखो, complete करके ही आगे जाओ. And बाद में वापस whenever you feel कि I want to change this, you are free to do so. That's fine. Okay. So first target is getting 20 on 20 as far as objectives are concerned. Okay. Just a minute. अभी क्वेश्चन है कि सर वी हैव टू राइट क्वेश्चन ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स इन द आंसर. तो लेट मी टेल यू that you see, some first thing is that sometimes now board specify that you write the statement and complete it. नहीं तो otherwise write the correct answer बोलेगा तो सिर्फ correct answer ही लिख सकते हैं. अच्छा, कंप्लीट द कोरिलेशन में तो तुम लिखेगा माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स बराबर स्लाइसिंग मेथड, मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स डैश. ओके, क्या लंपिंग मेथड, अंडरलाइन इट बस. चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. एंड अगर ऐसा लिखा चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन एंड कंप्लीट द स्टेटमेंट, यस यू नीड टू राइट द स्टेटमेंट, अदरवाइज ओनली करेक्ट ऑप्शन ही लिख सकता है. ये इकोनॉमिक टर्म या जस्ट मेंशन वन. क्या इकोनॉमिक टर्म है? टू, बट नंबरिंग बराबर से करो. ओके, ऑड वन आउट है, यू कैन डायरेक्टली राइट ऑड वन आउट. ठीक है. सो बेटर यू रीड इंस्ट्रक्शंस केयरफुली. कुछ ऐसा स्पेसिफाई नहीं रहेगा तो यू कैन डायरेक्टली write the answer. Okay. In true or false, you can always write the statement number 1 true, statement number 2 false, and so on. बराबर है, but numbering is very important. सची एक्स्ट्रा आंसर्स मतलब बहुत कुछ लिखने को तुमको नहीं है. बराबर है. तुम क्या करेगा, 3 लिखने का है, 4 लिखेगा. यस, वी करेक्ट, एंड स्टूडेंट हैज एवरी राइट टू राइट एक्स्ट्रा. बराबर है. तो हम तो ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते कि एक्स्ट्रा क्यों लिखा है. इट डजंट गेट इरिटेटेड एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर राइटिंग. बट देन लिखने का भी प्रॉपर ऑर्डर होना चाहिए. इसीलिए मैंने बताया यू वांट टू राइट एक्स्ट्रा, उधर जगह छोड़ के आगे जाओ. इफ यू राइट एल्सवेयर देन ही गेट्स इरिटेटेड. फिर बिकॉज कौन सा क्वेश्चन का किधर क्या लिखा है ये हैज टू फाइंड. बट सेम जगह पे तुम एक बैक टू बैक लिखा तो ऑलवेज बेटर. होप एज फार एज क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 इज कंसर्न कुछ कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 से लेके क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 तक डिस्क्रिप्टिव है. वंशिका सर, इन करेक्ट ऑप्शन इफ इट इज गिवन ABCD we have to write ABCD or the option number and उसका ABCD या ABD या BCD whatever it is. Option number and ABCD जो कुछ है वो लिखो. Now question number 2, identify and explain the concept. Let me tell you, तुमको तो 2 मार्क्स दिखता है, बट हमको मॉडल आंसर में आता है 1 मार्क फॉर आइडेंटिफाइंग, 1 मार्क फॉर एक्सप्लेनेशन. राइट अकॉर्डिंगली. इफ यू डोंट राइट आइडेंटिफिकेशन, बराबर है, economic approach which follows slicing method, answer should be microeconomics and write something, maybe say तुम मॉरिस डॉप का या किसी का डेफिनेशन दे सकते हो. ओके, बट if you don't write the word keyword then you are going to lose 1 mark. You don't explain, you are going to lose 1 mark. दोनों रहेगा तो 2 out of 2. Quite possible you have to attempt any 3 out of 5. So with option 10 marks है, otherwise 6 marks का question है. You have to attempt any 3. And 6 out of 6 quite possible. Then distinguish between, again 3 out of 5. So choice is limited. Earlier they used to ask 3 out of 6. Abhi 3 out of 5. 1 is reduced, choice reduce हो गया. But again each distinguish. Abhi student were asking, sir कितना points? No, before deciding how many points, ये जरा याद में रखो कि distinguish between, if I write 5 points, will I get 2 on 2? I say no. क्यों नहीं? Because board का कहना है first point has to be definition. Definition होना चाहिए. TU MU पूछा, TU indicates use, value in use, MU indicates value in exchange. TU is normally positive, MU can be positive, 0, negative. At the point of satiety, TU is maximum. At the point of satiety, MU is 0. Graph diagram निकाला, 4 point लिखा. Examiner will give 1 or 1.5, not 2. क्यों नहीं? Definition किधर लिखा? TU का definition and MU का definition. So it's not only number of points, which points is written, and board कहता है कि first point has to be definition. And where definition नहीं है तो उसका meaning लिखो. तो make a point, दिमाग में डाल दो कि first point has to be definition, बाकी कुछ नहीं लिखने का. And उसके सिवा 3 to 4 points लिखो. Because मैंने बताया कि अभी TU MU का 6 points है, तुमने सर 2 marks के लिए I will write only 2 points. तो some examiner, you don't know who is going to assess your papers. तो उसका एक्सपेक्टेशन ज्यादा है, तो तुमको सब आता है, मुझे पता है. But if you don't write and you will be judged on the basis of what is written in the paper. तुम 2 पॉइंट लिखते हैं तो मैं बोलते हैं इसको 3rd पॉइंट आता ही नहीं है. So that's why I suggest it's better that definition and plus 3 points, 4 points to लिखो, then no one can cut your marks. Do you know at how many levels your paper is likely to get assessed? I say 4. तो 4 जन चेक करेगा. Yes. पहला मैं से पेपर चेक करता हूं as an examiner and I give 76, 77, maybe 78. The paper will be sent to moderator and moderators क्या करते हैं, जिसको एकदम बहुत अच्छा मार्क्स मिला है एंड जिसको बहुत कम मिला है वो ज्यादा ठीक से देखते हैं. कम मिला है तो he will try to increase and बहुत ज्यादा मिला है तो he will try to reduce and जिधर जिधर चांस मिलेगा उधर रिड्यूस करेगा. ये डिस्टिंग्विश में क्या 2 ही पॉइंट लिखा है, इसको आधा कट करता हो, आधा आधा करके वो 72 मिलेगा, तुमको 71 मिलेगा. मॉडरेटर ने चेक किया एंड उसका भी समझो 76, 77 ही है आउट ऑफ 80. Then वो special only top cases will be sent to the chief moderators and chief moderator of Mumbai division will go through it. Okay. And the chief moderator के बाद मुंबई डिविजनल के जो टॉपर्स है 2-4 स्टूडेंट के पेपर में भी सेंड टू सम अदर डिविजनल बोर्ड एंड अदर डिवीजन का मुंबई में आता है क्रॉस मॉडरेशन. सो जो एक्सेलेंट पेपर्स होता है 4 लेवल पे चेक होता है एंड इफ यू गिव चांस किधर ना किधर कट होगा ही. सो ऐसा लिखो कि एट नो स्टेज तुम्हारा मार्क्स कट होना चाहिए. ओके. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई ऑलवेज एडवाइज कि राइट लिटिल मोर. ज्यादा लिखने से मार्क्स नहीं जाएगा बट कम लिखने से जा सकता है. ठीक है. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 यू कैन स्कोर 12 on 12. 6 plus 6. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 आई सेड 20 on 20 पॉसिबल है, तो फुल मिला अभी तक 32. आंसर द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चन. 4 मार्क्स के लिए है एनी 3 out of 5. What are the features of utility? What are the determinants of demand? What are the determinants of supply? Or what is changes in supply? What are the cost concept? What are the precautions while measuring national income by income method? What is the importance of international trade? Questions आएगा. Normally यहाँ पर 12 on 12 मिलना मुश्किल है. Some teachers may give 4 on 4, some will give 3. And that depends on what you write and how much you write. You cover everything with definition properly. Possible है डायग्राम. 4 में से 4 मिल भी सकता है. So I take it that थोड़ा सा तुमको कम ही मिलेगा, तो 11 तक जा सकता है. Even if you get 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, that comes to 10.5. That gets converted into 11 question wise rounded up. So इधर 1 मार्क्स जाने का चांस है तुम्हारा. If you manage to get 12 on 12, that is a matter of luck also. So nothing like that. Then state with reasons whether you agree or disagree. तो क्वेश्चन के ऊपर ही लिखने का है I agree, I disagree. That's all. उसको 1 मार्क है. It is bifurcated into 1 plus 3. तो 3 marks are for explanation, 1 mark. सिर्फ agree लिखा और कुछ नहीं लिखा और answer is the agree, you will get 1 mark. No explanation, no reasoning. Price is the only determinant of demand. Disagree, 1 mark मिल गया. अभी लिखो price is one of the important factor which influences demand inversely. Apart from this, income है, advertisement है, population है, 6, 7, 8 पॉइंट एंड ये 3 मार्क के लिए तो तुम बोल नहीं सकते मैं 5 ही पॉइंट लिखेगा, 3 ही पॉइंट लिखेगा. रखा ट्राई एंड जस्ट लेबल अदर पॉइंट्स. तो इधर पॉसिबल है कि 1 में से 1 मिला एंड 3 में से 3 मिल सकता है. सो बहुत अच्छा लिखा तो 12 on 12 पॉसिबल है, बट आई टेक इट 11 ओनली. किधर तो भी तुम्हारा 1 मार्क गया. या 3.5, 7 plus 4, 11. या 3.5, 10.5 is 11. तो पॉसिबल है. ओके. देन क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, एनी 2 एंड 3 टाइप्स का क्वेश्चन रहेगा. एक टेबल रहेगा एंड उस पर क्वेश्चन रहेगा. मे बी से TUMU का टेबल कंप्लीट करने को बोलेगा, या विच लेवल ऑफ कंजम्पशन पॉइंट ऑफ सटाइटी होगा, या डिमांड शेड्यूल, सप्लाई शेड्यूल, प्राइस डिटर्मिनेशन, मे बी से इंडिया फॉरेन ट्रेड. टेबल दिया रहेगा, उससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन. 4 क्वेश्चंस 1 मार्क का. बराबर है. टेबल देके या फिर तुम्हारा इंडेक्स नंबर पे कुछ वैल्यूज देके कंस्ट्रक्ट क्वांटिटी इंडेक्स, वैल्यू इंडेक्स वगैरह. फिगर्स मतलब डायग्राम देके तुमको कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे, इंक्रीज एंड डिक्रीज इन डिमांड, expansion and contraction, maybe say related to supply, maybe related to price determination. And one passage will be given, maybe related to the syllabus, yeah, out of the syllabus, and uske related 4 questions. Let me tell you that here I will advise you go for all 3. बराबर है. 4 आंसर्स तो लिखने का है, टाइम ज्यादा नहीं जाता है, बहुत इजीली होता है. तीनों अटेम्प्ट करके रखो, तीनों में 4 मिलने तो दे विल गेट टेक बेस्ट 2. बट एक आधा आंसर रॉन्ग जा सकता है, तो बैकअप है नेक्स्ट 4 मार्क्स का. बराबर है. तो योर टारगेट शुड बी 8 on 8. ओके, तो अभी तक हमारा 5 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट हो गया एंड यू आर फॉलिंग शॉर्ट बाय 2 मार्क्स. मतलब तुम्हारा 64 मार्क्स का पेपर कंप्लीट हो गया है एंड 62 स्कोर हो सकता है. बराबर है. एंड अभी नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 में क्या है? 8 मार्क्स का लॉन्ग आंसर है, ऐसे टाइप है, एनी 2 out of 3. मतलब फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल चॉइस इज लिमिटेड. ओके, टोटल 8 into 3 24 मार्क्स है, बट अटेम्प्ट करना है 2 ऐसे टाइप. एंड ट्रेंड देखो जरा सा, मैं प्रीवियस ट्रेंड बताता हूँ. यू आर नॉट फेमिलियर विद दैट सिलेबस, प्रीवियस सिलेबस. Board conducted some 14 papers, October, March, and out of 14, 13 exam में law of demand was asked, either law of demand with assumption या law of demand with exception. Okay, so prepare it properly. वो नहीं पूछेंगे तो क्या पूछेंगे? लॉ ऑफ डीएमयू पूछो. लॉ ऑफ डिमांड का आने का चांसेस तो बहुत है. अभी भी जो एक बोर्ड ने एग्जाम कंडक्ट किया, ओके, आई थिंक October 21 में, तो इसमें भी लॉ ऑफ डिमांड पूछा था. सो थोड़ा प्रेडिक्टेबल है, तो प्लान इट प्रॉपरली. लॉ ऑफ डीएमयू पूछ सकते हैं, और क्या पूछ सकते हैं? मे बी से फीचर्स ऑफ परफेक्ट कंपटीशन पूछ सकते हैं, या मे बी आउटपुट मेथड, इनकम मेथड, एक्सपेंडिचर मेथड में एक आने का चांस है. डिफिकल्टीज, थियोरटिकल, प्रैक्टिकल डिफिकल्टीज पूछ सकते हैं. ओके, सो सिलेक्ट सच क्वेश्चंस, ओके, एंड प्रिपेयर करके रखो. बस उसमें से 3 आना चाहिए और उसमें से 2 अटेम्प्ट करने के. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो एंड यहाँ पर देखो नीचे बोर्ड ने जो गाइडलाइंस दिया है, फॉर ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 द पैरामीटर्स गिवन इन 12th स्टैंडर्ड टेक्स्ट बुक शुड बी कंसीडर्ड. मतलब 12 के बुक में ये सारे 8 का 8 टाइप पैरामीटर दिया हुआ है. बराबर है. तो वो लाइंस पे. एंड ऑलवेज डू टेक्सचुअल क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट. फिर वो 8 मार्क्स का होने दो, 4 मार्क्स का होने दो, डिस्टिंग्विशेस होने दो. सब पहला टेक्सचुअल क्वेश्चन, वो होने के बाद फिर और क्या पूछ सकते हैं. नहीं तो पहला समथिंग यू आर डूइंग, बराबर, जो टेक्स्ट में नहीं पूछा है. तो माय एडवाइस इज कि ऑलवेज गो फॉर टेक्सचुअल क्वेश्चंस. ओके, नाउ समवन हैड आस्क्ड अबाउट एप्टीट्यूड बेस्ड टेस्ट. बराबर है. तो मैं तो एक्चुअली बात कर रहा था रिगार्डिंग हाउ टू अटेम्प्ट बोर्ड पेपर, बट दिस इज ऑल्सो इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट and everyone should aim for getting 20 on 20. जो बोर्ड ने इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया है वो हम दे रहे हैं. An application based test should be conducted for internal assessment for 20 marks. Application based test should be based on entire syllabus. Underline कर रहा हूं मैं. बराबर है. अभी ये तुम बोलेगा ये 25% का डिडक्शन करके करने का है क्या? तो इंस्ट्रक्शन इज लाइक, we will verify it. Okay, we will try to make things easy for you, but be prepared for it. Time allotted for application based test is 1 hour. 1 hour में 20 minutes is cake walk, easily हो जाएगा. 15-20 मिनट में हो जाएगा. बट घाई मत करो, आराम से लिखो. क्वेश्चन पेपर फॉर दिस टेस्ट इज टू बी फ्रेम्ड इन सच a way that the student will be able to write the answer on the same sheet. मतलब फिलअप्स रहेगा, ट्रू और फॉल्स रहेगा, एंड सो ऑन. And for 12th standard application based test should be conducted as per the board timetable for oral practical. मतलब एक बार तुम्हारा हॉल टिकट आ गया, most probably after 14th of Feb you can expect, okay, aptitude based test. So keep reading all the topics properly. This is regarding aptitude based test. अभी aptitude based test में एक important question है. बराबर है. 5 types of questions will be asked. Choose the correct option. ओके, ये मैं बता रहा हूं तुमको. यूज एनी 4 पैरामीटर्स फॉर द ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस फॉर 12th स्टैंडर्ड। मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि चूज करेक्ट ऑप्शन ही आना चाहिए, इधर दूसरा भी हम कुछ पूछ सकते हैं, बट मैंने एग्जांपल के लिए दिया है, फाइंड द ऑड वर्ड आउट, कंप्लीट द कोरिलेशन, गिव इकोनॉमिक टर्म, फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स, कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं। बट फिफ्थ स्टेप, एंड एवरी क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड फॉर 4 मार्क्स, मतलब 4 चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शंस रहेगा, 1 into 4 दिया है, फाइंड ऑड वर्ड वैसा 4 रहेगा, 4 मार्क्स। बट फिफ्थ देखो, स्टडी द फॉलोइंग सिचुएशन एंड एक्सप्रेस योर ओपिनियन, बराबर है। तो यहां पर तुमको लिखने का है। ओके, 2 into 2, 2 मार्क का। कुछ तो सिचुएशन रहेगा कि अ पर्सन वेंट ऑन कंज्यूमिंग मोर एंड मोर एंड देन ही एक्सपीरियंस्ड स्टमक पेन, बात करो। तो यहाँ पर लिखने का है, व्हेन अर्लियर ही वेंट ऑन कंज्यूमिंग, बराबर है, उसको यूटिलिटी मिला, बट बाद में एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे उसको यूटिलिटी कुछ नहीं मिला, एमयू बिकम 0 एंड देन और एक्सेस खाया, एमयू बिकम्स नेगेटिव एंड ही एक्सपीरियंस डिसयूटिलिटी, डिससेटिस्फैक्शन। ओके, तो तुमको डिस्क्राइब करना है। ओके, तो ये जरा सा केयरफुली तुमको अटेम्प्ट करना है। सिचुएशन हम टेक्स्ट के बाहर का कुछ नहीं पूछेंगे, टेक्स्ट रिलेटेड ही पूछेंगे। ओके, तो बट अगेन लेट मी टेल यू दैट एज फार एज तुम्हारा internal ABT is concerned, those who are well prepared, getting 20 on 20 is not at all difficult. Okay, so you can always score good marks here also. Use any 4 parameters for the objective question for 12th standard, मतलब जो 8 पैरामीटर है उसमें से 4, and fifth one is तो मैंने बताया कि the students are supposed to express your opinion. Okay, situation क्या है? Okay, I have some now questions. Saloni, question number 5 for ABT, do have write the answer in point. अरे इधर तो MCQ है, यहाँ पर ऑब्जेक्टिव्स है। ओके, एंड लास्ट पेज क्वेश्चन में एक 2-4 लाइन लिखने का है, ज्यादा नहीं लिखने का है। 2 मार्क्स के लिए है तो 4-5 लाइन, 6 लाइन्स इज मोर देन इनफ। ओके, ABT, as and when board instruct us, we will conduct your 80 marks का ऑफलाइन है, तो ABT will also be offline only in the college premises. Okay, be assured for that. और अभी ऑनलाइन कुछ नहीं होगा, जो होगा वो ऑफलाइन होगा। और किसको क्या किसने पूछा है? I'll go back. Okay. Question ABT have to be written in the answer points. How many? Okay. Okay. तो मैंने बताया ये तुम्हारा ऑफलाइन ही है, ऑनलाइन नहीं रहेगा। ABT test has done right or it's for practice. जो किया है वो तो हमारा प्रैक्टिस के लिए था। अभी एज पर बोर्ड का एक बार तुम्हारा हॉल टिकट्स मिलने के बाद, एक बार बोर्ड का शेड्यूल मिलने के बाद, वी विल कंडक्ट एज पर द बोर्ड गाइडलाइंस। इट विल बी टोटली न्यू पेपर। अच्छा, अभी अद्वै ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है बहुत अच्छा कि शुड वी राइट इन द सेम ऑर्डर और रिवर्स ऑर्डर। तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट, बी श्योर। अरे वो कभी लास्ट में कभी मत रखो। रिवर्स ऑर्डर मतलब 6 5 4 3 2 1, नो, एट मोस्ट 1 6 5 4 3 2 विल डू। ओके, 2 थिंग्स हैपेंस। पहला तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 में बहुत लिखने का है, लिखो, एंड देन एज यू गो ऑन राइटिंग 4 5 4 3 2, तो अभी 2 में इफ एट ऑल यू आर रनिंग लेस टाइम, बट देन वो तो छोटा छोटा ही लिखने का है। आइडेंटिफाई एंड एक्सप्लेन, डिस्टिंग्विशेस, 4 पॉइंट्स। So automatically you restrict your answer, and you will not go for some extra unnecessarily, and therefore your paper will be completed. So that is your choice. जिसका सिलेबस कंप्लीट हो गया है, एक नॉर्मल ऑर्डर में चेक अटेम्प्ट करो, एंड एक रिवर्स ऑर्डर में, रिवर्स मतलब पहला क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट एंड देन 6 5 4 3 2, देखो किधर टाइम कम लगता है। ओके, and get assessed, that is more important. I keep on telling my students, particularly मेरे डिवीजन में, लिखो और पेपर दिखाने को आ जाओ। हार्डली एक मानसी परचुरे हो एवरी टाइम आके जाती है, एंड अमृता, बट मेनी ऑफ यू हैव नॉट shown that keen interest in writing. For ABT we have to write in the paper itself, right? यस, जो सप्लीमेंट देगा उसमें ही आंसर लिखने को जगह, क्वेश्चन पेपर में ही आंसर लिखने को जगह है. Highest score one could get in the question number 6. Yes, normally out of 8, 7 मिलता है, so 14 is possible. Exceptionally, 8 on 8 तो नहीं, 7.5 मिला तभी 7.5 and 7 या 7.5, 7.5, 15 is possible. While writing law, before introduction, can we write a definition related to demand or DMU? Law of DMU stated by Marshall in his book so and so, published in the year. Try to establish relationship between stock of commodity consumed and utility derived. The law states that उधर what is utility, how utility is relative, ये नहीं चाहिए. No need of writing. Okay. डिमांड के बारे में तो इधर लिखने का ही नहीं है, सलोनी. Okay. I think whatever I wanted to tell you, बराबर है sir. For definition, we have to learn the names of the economists. Yes, बराबर है. तुम कार्ल शैपिरो का मैक्रो का डेफिनेशन है, मॉरिस डॉप का माइक्रो का है, बराबर. इंडेक्स नंबर का देखो किसका डेफिनेशन है, तो बराबर से लिखो. फॉरेन ट्रेड में किसका नाम है सर? आर द प्रीलिम्स पेपर, क्या लिखा प्रीलिम्स पेपर? संविदा, वेलकम. साची कुछ पूछा था, किधर गया तुम्हारा ये? Question number 5, answer the following. How many points? Question number 5, answer the following is mandatory. Question number 5 क्या है? How many points है? 2 mark के लिए है, 4, 5, 6 lines. Okay, and you have to describe the situation. So you need not have to label the points. Okay. Question number 3, 4, as many points as possible. Okay, what are the factors influencing supply? बुक में देखो 8-9 पॉइंट्स है, सब लिखो. नहीं लिख पाता है, 7 लिखने के बाद 2-3 मेंशन करो. But your aim should be to cover all. And that's why you need to learn the technique, how to condense the matter without affecting quality. You have to create that impression that I know everything. Okay. नहीं तो फिर तुमको 4 में से 3 ही मिलेगा. You want to score 4 on 4, then you need to write all the points. देखो, that's why speed matters. तुमको आता तो सब है. Okay. और कुछ साची कुछ था क्वेश्चन तुम्हारा, वापस पूछेगा तो अच्छा रहेगा. सर, आर द प्रीलिम्स पेपर गोइंग टू बी चेक? देखो अभी ममता मैडम वही तुमको हेल्प कर रही है. ओके, ठीक. शुड स्टेटमेंट लिखो बेटर, क्या है जरा देखो कैसा इंस्ट्रक्शन है. Would the paper presentation for identify and explain, should we write each question on new page? See, each question नहीं, क्या है? क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. अभी ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऊपर एक स्टेटमेंट हो गया, उधर ही क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 डिस्टिंग्विश चालू करता है. डोंट डू इट. बट देन क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 में चूज द करेक्ट आंसर के बाद हाफ पेज बाकी है, तो फाइंड ऑड वन वर्ड, यू कैन स्टार्ट इट A, B, C, D, all options. But main question has to be written on new page. That is very important. Okay, Niharika, yes, that has been. Okay, and your answer keys will be given to you. Don't worry about it. Niharika. रोहन, डिलीटेड पोर्शन अभी तो उस पे ज्यादा वेटेज मत दो, बट बहुत जगह पे डिलीटेड पोर्शन का नॉलेज इज जरूरी फॉर बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, बट देन डोंट एक्सपेक्ट क्वेश्चन ऑन इट. ओके, सी क्वेश्चन नंबर करेक्ट लिखते हैं ना तो देन प्रॉब्लम नहीं. व्हाट हैपेंस, समवन इज आस्किंग, साची मैंने बताया तुमको, why just few points, then you will get just few marks. बराबर है, सब बरोबर से. बोर्ड का मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कुछ और, बोर्ड का स्टैंडर्ड टेक्स्ट है, फॉलो करो. ट्राई टू राइट एज मेनी पॉइंट्स एज पॉसिबल. ओके, Now one very important thing, किसी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि क्वेश्चन नंबर मेरे को थर्ड अटेम्प्ट करने का है, अग्री डिसअग्री, बट यू वांट टू राइट इट एट फर्स्ट, तो तुम क्या करते हैं, वन नंबर करके अग्री लिखते हैं एंड वन का आंसर था डिसअग्री. एग्जामिनर गेट कंफ्यूज, रॉन्ग देके जा सकता है. दैट्स व्हाई आई एडवाइस कि जरा क्वेश्चन लिखेगा, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ओके, तुम्हारा नंबरिंग रॉन्ग जा सकता है इजीली, बट स्टेटमेंट रॉन्ग नहीं जाता है. सो बेटर यू राइट द व्हाट यू कॉल स्टेटमेंट लिखेगा, या एटलीस्ट आधा स्टेटमेंट लिख के डॉट 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 करेगा तो भी उसको आइडिया आ जाता है. ओके, इन माइक्रो एंड मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स इंपॉर्टेंस अभी तुमको पता होना चाहिए, व्हाट हैज बीन रिड्यूस्ड एंड व्हाट इज नॉट. आई थिंक माइक्रो एंड मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स का इंपॉर्टेंस हैज बीन रिड्यूस्ड, तो उस पर ज्यादा फोकस मत करो. उसका फीचर्स एज वेल एज व्हाट यू से सब्जेक्ट मैटर इंपॉर्टेंट है. 2-3 definitions are given, you can stick to one definition, no problem. You need not have to write all three. Sir, can we just agree or yes I agree? I agree मतलब yes I agree, बराबर है. तो सिर्फ I agree, I disagree बोल दो तो सर no I disagree, कुछ चलेगा, लिखा तो क्या प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट I agree और I disagree इतना बोल्ड इसमें लिखो. एंड लेट मी टेल यू, तुम्हारा बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस ऐसे आते रहेंगे, एंड वी हैव अनदर एक्सपर्ट इन द सब्जेक्ट, प्रोफेसर ममता संतोष. शी इज वेटिंग फॉर दैट एंड शी विल गिव योर रिमेनिंग डाउट्स, क्वेरीज है उसका आंसर. एंड इनफैक्ट अभी ये जो सारे क्वेश्चंस तुम पूछ रहे हैं ना, तुमको पूछने का जरूरत ही नहीं है, बिकॉज वो जो डिस्कस करेगी उसमें सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर तुमको ऑटोमेटिकली मिलने वाले हैं. ओके, so now I am requesting Professor Mamta Santosh, okay, to continue the session with just discussing the paper which we conducted in the month of Jan, and we have told students to be ready with the answer paper which they have hard copy with them. Okay, and you can discuss, and whatever in fact I have told, तुम बहुत अच्छा तरीके से उधर बता सकते हो, because you will be talking about the answer of each and every type of question. So I thank you all for listening this session carefully. I hope it will add value to your answer paper and will help to score good marks. Thank you once again, and I'm there to continue with the session, but I request Mamta Santosh ma'am to continue with the session, and of course she can continue with the PowerPoint presentation, or and one more important, अभी कोई student ने पूछा था, start each main question on new page. Yes, okay, avoid cancellation or overwriting, but करेगा तो फिर अलग लिखो, underline definition, main points. Just examiner is in a hurry, so he can always go through your main points and will give marks. And this is the paper, okay, that we had, Mamta ma'am. Yeah. Okay, so you want to have your own presentation, or I can just, as you say, I will scroll and आगे आगे जाएंगे हम लोग.
So I can share the screen now.
Okay, okay, so no worries. Thank you very much, Mamta madam. Please take over.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for such an informative session.
Yes,
and I really hope that our students have at least got an idea that how to attempt and write economics paper. So before we start, let me just share the screen.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Okay, I hope the PPT is visible. The question paper is visible.
Yes, madam. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. So now this is the exam which we had conducted in the month of January. And now, since already sir has given you the overview in brief that how to write the paper, how to attempt, how many points to write and all. So I think now you are in a position to at least roughly evaluate yourself. So before we start solving the paper, I request everyone keep your answer paper ready with pen and pencil. And if you want to assign marks, that also you can do. So just take few minutes, just 1 minute to keep everything ready. so that we can start with solving the paper. Okay, done? Fine. Okay, now this is the question paper. Now, as you can see, this time the time is increased from 3 hours to 3.5 hours. So you have half an hour extra to write the exam, and plus, as sir has already mentioned, 10 minutes you get to read the paper also. So you have that 10 minutes extra plus the last half an hour extra to write the paper. So you can utilize this time to score good marks in economics as well as in other subjects also. Now, this is the note normally you will find in all the board papers regarding the, subject wise, this may differ. For economics, all questions are compulsory. Now, when we say all questions are compulsory, it is like question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and question number 6. So total we have 6 questions. Here we are not talking about the options available within the question. Here we are talking about question wise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have draw neat table diagrams wherever necessary. Again, sir has clearly mentioned that even for 1 mark, if you know the table or the diagram, you must draw it. Fine, so that you can do to score good marks or full marks. Then figures to the right indicates full marks, so that is mentioned here. And right answer to all main questions on the new page. So this also sir has already addressed. So whenever you are starting the new question, say question number 1, A, B, C, D, all are done. So you are going to write now question number 2. So better write on a fresh page, irrespective. Even if in the previous page only 1 or 2 statements you have written and almost 80% of the paper is still empty, then also you prefer to write the new question in fresh or new page only. Fine. Now let's discuss the questions. So here the first question number 1A. Now in question number 1, we have 4 parts A, B, C, D, 5 marks each. So total 20 marks. So objective is of 20 marks. And sir has already mentioned you can score 20 on 20 in question number 1. Now the first question here is choose the correct option. So you have to choose the correct option out of the options given below. So our question here is classification of commercial banks. So here we are talking about commercial banks in India. So you just go through the options. First we have the public sector bank. So this is commercial bank. We have private sector bank. So this is also commercial bank. Foreign banks also we have commercial banks. Now coming to central bank is not commercial bank. It is the head of or apex institution of the monetary system, the banks. Okay, so this is the main bank, that is RBI. So this is not commercial bank, rather it is the head of or bankers of all the banks. So here your correct option is A, B, C, which is answer number 2, that is option number 2, A, B, C. So all those who have written this option, take this option, they can give 1 marks to themselves. Okay. Next we have classification of market on the basis of time. Now here it's very easy to make out. Time diya hua hai, so you can easily find out. Like here it's about market. So market nothing has to do with time. So here it's mentioned very short period. So when we say period, so it is obviously related to some time frame. So here the answer is very obvious that your answer is this one, which is option B, which here it is option number 1. That is only B. Just 1 second. Kalish is asking, do we have to write the question statements also in question number 1? Again, sir has already addressed this also. There is no need to write statement, but you have to read the question properly. Be careful in reading the question. If it's mentioned that you have to rewrite the statement, then only you have to write the statement. Otherwise, directly you can write your answer. Direct option number 1 is the correct answer. If it is mentioned that you have to write the statement, then only go with the statement. Otherwise, no need. Okay, I missed the
second
okay.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. So first we will do this third one, then we can just go back to the second also. Okay, so for this third one, this very short period, long and very long period, it's the obvious answer. So you can just give 1 marks to yourself. The previous one, I think there is some problem with this slide because, yeah. Okay, it's question, I can't see. Just 1 second. I'll just, oh, okay. Exception to law of diminishing marginal utility. Now it's about DMU. And here we are talking about exceptions. Now I think you are well versed with your syllabus and content. So here, when we talk about exceptions, these are the exceptions. Cardinal measurement is the assumption of DMU, not the exception. Fine. So this is anyway is not the answer. So your answer is this one: hobbies, miser, and money. That is B, C, and D. So in this case, B, C, D is this one. I think this is for the previous option. I put the correct tick mark over here. So done. Three, 1, 2, 3. We have already done. Now coming to the fourth one, that is statements related to macroeconomics. Now macroeconomics, again you are well aware, it's about aggregate. So this is the correct answer. uh, Macroeconomic doesn't depend on assumption, so this is not related. So you can just put a cross here only in the question paper. It takes into account interdependence, so it's about your general equilibrium. If you are aware, in micro we use partial and in macro we use general equilibrium. So this interdependence between aggregate economic variable is your general equilibrium. So this is macroeconomic concept. It is more policy oriented because it talks about the overall economy. So this is also correct statement. So in this we have this A statement correct, then C and D statement correct. So A, C, D statement are correct. So your answer is this one, that is option 4th, A, C, and D. Then next we have the structure of organized sector of money market. So we have again two sectors, organized and unorganized. We also call it formal and informal sector. So here we are talking about the formal sector, which is organized. So in this is the part, this is also part of your organized sector. Cooperative banks is again part of your organized sector only. Now coming to the D option, which is indigenous bankers, this is not the part of organized, this is part of your unorganized sector. So this is not the correct answer. So here you have A, B, C correct answer, that is option number 2. So you can give 1 mark if this is correct. Okay, now coming to question number 1B, which is give economic term. Give economic term here. Here it's just about giving economic term. There is no need to explain. For explanation, we have question number 2, where you have identify and explain. Here it is just you need to give economic term, and again without writing the statement also you can directly write your answer. And if in case it's mentioned in the question that you have to write the statement, then only you need to write. So here the first statement is Kavita consumed an additional unit of bread. Now again, wherever this term additional is there, so always keep in mind it's about marginal. Additional जहाँ पे भी आएगा वो marginal की हम बात कर रहे हैं, microeconomic concept. And here it's about consuming and getting satisfaction. So that is about utility. Okay, so additional is about marginal and satisfaction is related to utility. So your correct answer is marginal utility. That's it. You just have to write marginal utility. Again, as sir mentioned, you have to write the question number properly. 1 marginal utility. Okay, अभी तुमने लिख लिया 2 marginal utility, then you will not score marks. अगर ऐसा confusion है तो then you write the statement. Fine. So again, that is already discussed by MD sir. So I think that's clear now. Now the option here, the question 2 is total quantity available for sale. So again, this concept is there in your supply chapter, where we have the concept of stock and supply, right? So here it's the total quantity available. We are not talking about the quantity offered for sale. It's the available, total quantity available. So it is about the stock concept. So you just have to write the term stock here. Third is an important instrument of financial administration through which all financial affairs of the state are regulated. Fine. And this statement is basically as it is taken from your textbook itself. So the answer here is budget. You can go through that particular concept, that chapter, and the first two statements have been copy pasted here. So the here correct answer is budget. Okay, an engine of growth of an economy. Now here we may have two answers, like some I was just going through few of the papers which you have written. Some of them have written foreign trade, that is also correct, and some of them has just mentioned trade, so that is also good enough. And if you are confused in give economic term or identify, तुम्हें लगता है ये भी आंसर हो सकता है वो भी आंसर हो सकता है, दोनों लिख दो, right? Write one slash मार के दूसरा foreign trade slash trade, so any which ways you will get marks. Okay. Then we have the fifth one, macroeconomic policy, which deals with money supply in the economy. So it's macroeconomic policy regarding money supply. So it's about monetary policy. So the answer is monetary policy. Mansi is and Bhavya is asking government budget for previous. So again, sir ने बताया था कि sometime it happens like some because of some error or sometimes something comes out of portion and all. So that time you just write the question. That's it. You will get the marks. Okay, so this is about the economic terms and all. Then we have complete the correlation, and this is very simple. So income tax, we have direct tax, and GST, it's obvious, that's that's indirect tax. Then woolen clothes, place utility, toys made of clay, we have here form utility. Then money market, short-term fund, and dash long-term fund is capital market. Output method is product method, and income method is also called as factor cost method. And this is your index number. So it's P0, base year price, and current year is P1. Fiscal budget is correct answer for previous question. Which previous question? Budget and fiscal budget both are correct. Done? Okay. Now next one is find the odd word out. In find odd word out, we have here types of demand. So again, you can just go through your textbook here. Individual demand is not there. In types of demand, we have direct, competitive, complementary, but individual demand is not the type of demand. So this is the odd word out. Then national income. So when we talk about national income, rent is the part, profit. Old age pension is basically transfer income, right? So this is not included when we calculate national income. वो precaution में करते हैं. If you have done this concept in precaution, we say that old age pension or transfer payment is not included in national income. So old age pension is odd word out here. Wages is very much included in national income. Then we have third one, which is subject matter of macroeconomics. So in macroeconomics, we talk about economic growth, we talk about national income, we talk about price level, that is general price level. But personal income is like individual income, which is micro concept, not macro. So this is again odd word out. Then we have types of index numbers. So again, here it's there in your book specifically mentioned. In this, we have price index, we have quantity index, we have value index. Simple index, we don't have in types of index. So this is the odd word here. Then organized money market, we have money lenders, commercial banks, development, that is DFIs, and cooperative banks and all. So here again, the question is a bit repetitive. So here we are talking about organized money market. So money lender is unorganized. So this is it about your question number 1. A, B, C, D, all 4 are done. Krupali is asking. There also, Krupali, you write the options directly. Again, I'm repeating, if it's mentioned in the question that you have to write the statement or rewrite the statement, then only write the statement. Otherwise, you can directly write your answer. Okay, now question number 2 is very important and again very scoring. यहाँ पे जो marking रहता है that is 1 plus 1. So 1 mark you are getting for identification of that statement, basically giving economic term only, and remaining 1 mark is for explanation. So 1 mark का explanation है, तो you are not supposed to write 1 page or 2 pages and all. Just to the point, precise. 3 to 4 statements are more than enough to get 1 on 1, right? And यहाँ पे जो तुम्हें बहुत carefully करना है, that is reading the statement carefully, because if you go wrong in identification of the statement, then you are losing altogether your 2 marks. So identification has to be done very carefully. So we have 5 options. Out of 5 options you have to attempt any 3. तो पहले पांचों को पढ़ लो जहां पे तुम्हें लगता है okay this is 100%, this is going to be the economic term or identification, then go for it. If you are confused, then look for some other better option where you feel is more accurate. Okay, so here the first one is Dinu kept 1000 kg out of 5000 kg of rice produced in his farm. So again this concept is from your national income chapter. So this is when the farmer keeps some portion of the output for self consumption. It is, as I mentioned, it is called as goods kept for self consumption. So that is the statement, that is the identification. So then you need to explain what is the meaning of goods kept for self consumption along with the example, and also you can mention that imputed value means the value hum assume karte hain, that is taken in calculation of national income. So just explain in precise and you will get 1 on 1. So 1 mark for identification, 1 mark for explanation. Then next is degree of responsiveness of change of quantity demanded of good to change in its price. So this is again very understood. It's related to your elasticity, and यहाँ पे price mention किया है, तो it's about price elasticity. So you have to write price elasticity, then define what is price elasticity, and you have formula also, write the formula. और इसमें फिर explain नहीं करना है that there are 5 types of elasticities, unitary, relatively and all that. वो सब कुछ लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just directly write price elasticity, write the statement and give the formula. That's it. Fine. Next is the sales proceed of Rajesh Textile increased from 5000 to 550. So it's about income, revenue. Fine. So this concept is from your, I think, supply chapter only, the last portion of it. So again, by selling 1 extra unit additional. So whenever extra additional is there, that's your marginal concept. And here we are talking about revenue. So it is your marginal revenue concept. So answer is marginal revenue. Then write its meaning, and formula is also mentioned. So write the formula and you will score 1 plus 1 here. Then Roshan deposited 2000 monthly in the bank for 5 years. So again, आपके पास दो ही concept है इसमें. One is FD, that is fixed deposit, and one is recurring deposit, that is RD. So this is monthly, so it is RD, recurring deposit. So you have to just explain and give one example. That's it. Okay, next fifth is with the rise in price by 15%, the demand contracted by 25%. Right? So again, ये price and demand वाले concept है, but here we are talking about how much the demand is changing. So when it is the concept of how much, it is about elasticity. Fine. Now, which elasticity is this? This is relatively elastic because demand has changed more than the change in the price. So proportionate change in quantity demanded is more than proportionate change in the price. So this is your relatively elastic demand. So again, give this heading, relatively elastic demand, and then just write the meaning. And here you can draw the diagram also. You have diagram. So एक statement में define कर दो with formula what is relatively elastic demand, and just draw one simple diagram. No need to explain diagram. एक mark का या एक mark में diagram explain करते मत बैठो. Just draw the diagram and write the statement with formula. That's it. So these are your 5 identification and explanation one. Okay. Next is distinguish between. So again, here you have the options given. So out of 5, you are supposed to attempt any 3. Fine. And sir ने आपको पहले बताया है, in this the first point has to be either meaning or definition. Just micro macro mein you have definitions given, you can write definition. Time utility, place utility, you don't have as such economics definition, so you can simply write the meaning followed by 3 more points. Okay, and as far as heading is concerned, then it's not compulsory in economics to write headings also. So you can just write the points, and if you know the heading, then you write the heading also. But first point has to be the meaning. So if you have written meaning followed by 3 points, you can give 2 on 2 to you. Otherwise, like 1.5 and so. Fine. Next is contraction in supply and decrease in supply. So here again you can write the meaning, plus here you have diagram also. So diagram is also considered as point. So write meaning of contraction and decrease in supply, then followed by 3 points, including the diagram. Okay, then we have internal trade and international trade. So same thing for others also, like first has to be meaning, then 3 more points, and even if you write examples, then example is also considered as point in economics. Done. Monetary policy, fiscal policy, meaning followed by 3 more points. Relatively elastic, relatively inelastic, you have proper meaning formula also you have here, you have diagram also in this one. So again, diagram, example, all are considered as point, but don't miss out at writing meaning. Meaning has to be the first point, then only you can score full marks, otherwise you may lose marks. Okay, so this is it about question number 2. Then coming to question number 3, which is about answer the following. So here any 3 again out of 5. तो 5 ऑप्शन दिए हैं, उसमें से तुम्हें 3 करने हैं, राइट? सो सर ने ऑलरेडी बताया है, लाइक व्हेनेवर दिस सब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चन 4 मार्क्स एंड प्लस वहां पे तुम्हें आता है, सो फर्स्ट instead of directly jumping on the point, at least give introduction, right? If a statement is there, then write statement. If meaning is there, then write meaning. Okay, so the first question here is explain the sources of non-tax revenue. Now sources of non-tax revenue, I think there are a good some 6 to 7 points here. So again, before starting point, like point number 1, say fee or penalties and all, first give what is non-tax revenue. पहले वो बताओ कि है क्या non-tax revenue in simple say 3 to 4 statements. No need to write again 1 page or half a page, just the introduction type of thing, right? After giving the introduction about what is non-tax revenue, then just leave 1 line and write below are the sources of non-tax revenue. Then point number 1, say fee. Then explain what is a fee and how it becomes non-tax revenue. Or then question, say point number 2, then you can leave the 1 line after finishing first point, say gifts and grants, then explain about it. After finishing it, leave 1 line, then write the third point, say borrowings. So you can write all the points here, like some 6 to 7 points are given, so write all points. If we haven't written intro, they cut marks. See, again, impression is very important. Sir ne pehle bola tha that impression when the examiner is checking the paper, that should reflect on your answer, the way you have written. So for that, introduction is very small. I'm not asking you to write 1 page and so. Just write in short 3 to 4 statements, that's it. And then start with your answer. It gives very good impression to the examiner, and because of that impression, you may score half a marks or 1 mark extra for your question. That's it, for your answer. Done? Okay, then question number 2, explain the functions of central banks. So again, the same thing. First, write the definition or the meaning of central bank, and if in case you don't remember any particular definition, at least write in your own words what is central bank. Apne wordings mein likh do, right? Then write the functions, and here also we have many functions, like I think yahan pe bhi aram se 7 to 8 functions are there, and some of the points are very elaborate, like where we talk about bankers to bank or controller of credit and all. There you have more points, sub points and all. So in that case, what you can do, you can explain some 5 points, say the good 5 points, and remaining point just give the heading. सर ने भी ये चीज बताया था, अगर इफ यू कांट राइट all 8 to 10 points, at least cover some 6 to 7 points. बाकी 2-3 जो है उनको सिर्फ heading form में लिख दो. That is also good enough. Fine, so that you can do here. Write at least 5 to 6 good points, and जो 3-4 extra point है, just give the heading. That's it. Okay, next is explain the features of microeconomics. So same thing, हर एक में same ही explanation है. Give the introduction about what is microeconomics. Here you have definition also, so you can just give definition also. अभी intro भी देना है, definition भी देना है, अपनी wordings में भी देना है. That you don't do. Just write either definition or in your words, or just a simple introduction. That's it. Fine. And then write the features. Again, in microeconomic features, we have many points. So try to cover up everything. If not, if you are finding difficult to finish the paper on time, so at least explain some 5 to 6 points, and afterwards just list down the other head points and all. That's it. Then explain the types of index number. So explain index number. So here we have some 4 types of index number. So explain all 4 types properly. And if formulas are there, then write the formulas also. Then next we have here is explain the relationship between TU and MU. This is very important question. कभी कभी ये agree disagree में भी आता है. Sometime you may find this question in your distinguished one. Okay. Now in this question, and this is very scoring question, because here you have table also, here you have graph also. So always attempt the question where practical presentation is more. Like अगर हम आपके यहाँ पे बात करते हैं, it's about say central bank. Central bank is more about theoretical thing. Same with non-tax revenue, more about theory. But if you talk about question number 5, TU and MU, it's theory plus some practical table is there, then graph is there. So for table and graph, you get extra marks, like marks are assigned to table also and to your graph also. So that such question you try to attempt first, then the theoretical one. So this question, first write the meaning of TU, then write the meaning of MU along with the formula. Formula is also there. Then you have table, or draw that table, then draw the diagram. Okay, and after the diagram, then explain. There are some 4 points of relationship. Explain each and every point thoroughly, and you can give reference to the diagram and the table also. So like point number 1, the heading is in the beginning both are same. Okay, point number 2, then explain with reference to table and diagram that how they are same and all. Then point number 2, TU is increasing at say diminishing rate and MU is decreasing. So एक heading दे दो, then explain the concept by giving reference to your table and all. Then third point, fourth point, that's it. Conclusion and all as such not required. Fine. And draw the diagram carefully. Then this is it about your question number 3. Now coming to question number 4, which is agree disagree one. So in this question agree disagree one, again 5 questions are given. Out of 5 you are supposed to attempt any 3. Okay. तो यहाँ पे भी तुम ऐसे करो कि जहाँ पे you feel practical, like graph and table you can draw and all, and plus agree and disagree right on the top. Because many a time what I've come across is students are writing entire full answer and all, and at the end they are not writing agree and or disagree. So what happens, they end up losing 1 mark. 1 mark chala jata hai, because here the marking system is 1 plus 3. So 1 mark you are simply getting just to write one word, that is either agree or disagree. So wo tum in the beginning only you write agree or disagree. No need to write that I strongly agree or I strongly disagree. Itna kuch likhne ki zarurat nahi hai. Even if you are writing just agree disagree, that's more than enough. Okay, now here the first question, there is no difference between micro and macroeconomics. Obviously there is difference between micro and macro. So this is your disagree. The statement is disagree. So you simply write disagree. Fine. And then in this one again it's like point of difference, distinguish जैसा है, but यहाँ पे तुम्हें column form में नहीं करना है. Make sure you are not writing this distinguish in agree disagree in column form. ऐसे कॉलम बना के एक जगह पे माइक्रो लिखा, यहाँ पे मैक्रो लिखा. नो नीड टू डू दैट. ओके, डू पॉइंट वाइज. पॉइंट नंबर 1, so you are writing meaning. So meaning microeconomics or definition, if you are taking any definition, write definition. Fine, then leave one line. Whereas macroeconomics is about aggregate concept. Point number 2, same method. Microeconomics is slicing method, whereas macro is say it's a lumping method. So explain what is slicing and what is lumping also. मैं अभी यहाँ पे in brief बता रही हूँ, but you have to explain also. So this, without making any column or tabular presentation, you have to write such questions in this agree and disagree one. Then the next one is selling cost is the only feature of monopolistic competition. So again, this statement is disagree, because there are many more features of monopolistic competition, such as product differentiation, free entry and exit, selling cost and all. So you have to write all other points by giving proper heading and proper explanation. Fine, and try to cover up all the points. The scope of macroeconomics is wide. So this is agree. Okay, this one is disagree. So here you write agree and then write the scope. So scope mein aapka hai, theory of income and employment and theory of distribution. There are more theories, so that you explain in detail. And you have this flow chart concept also in your book. So if possible and if time permits you, you can have flow chart type thing also here in this. Then the fourth one is price elasticity can be measured by ratio method. So again, this is agree. Then just write in brief about ratio method. Now again, say in ratio method, there is not much of content to write. You just have one introduction or some meaning is there and formula is there. So ऐसे question को चाहिए तो तुम skip करो. You can go for some other question where you can write more content. You can explain properly. तो ऐसे questions पे focus करो. Next is a deficit budget may prove useful during period of inflation. So this is basically disagree. It's in the concept budget. So again, this is from the removed portion. So in exam, if such question comes, you just directly need to write the statement. And for further explanation, you can just refer to the book here. Done. So up till question number 4, we are done. And you can assign marks accordingly. Who is this? Bhumi is asking when we are writing points, can we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can write in Roman type style also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can write ABCD also. But preferably write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. तो हमें समझ में आता है, okay, 8 point लिखे and all, fine. So you can that option, that freedom is given to you, that flexibility is always there with you. Okay. Now question number 5 is very scoring. Fine, because इसमें आपको answers normally when it is about unseen passage, तो सब answer आपको passage में ही मिल जाते हैं. And here again there is no need to explain in detail. Like question number 4 and 3, you need to explain properly in detail. But question number 5, again you have to write to the point, specific, precise. Fine. So here when it comes to this question number 5, you have 3 options given. One is the table, then you have figure related question, and the other is unseen passage. Now as you can see here, ये बहुत simple है, right? 80, here it's 90, 100, 110, right? 80, 90, 100. So and 110 and 120. तो इतना ही करने के लिए you are getting 2 marks. That's it, right? तो कुछ इतना बहुत ज्यादा explanation नहीं है. So to the point you have to write and derive the equilibrium price from this above schedule. So this is there in your book, if you remember. I think it's there in Perfect Competition. So demand and supply, intersection point and all that. So you explain slightly in detail. In brief only you have to explain, draw the diagram. That's it. Okay, and y-axis and x-axis you must write. Diagram बनाया है, but y-axis and x-axis mention नहीं किया है. Again, you may end up losing marks. Done. Next is on the basis of figure. So this is the figure given, and it is your the change in demand concept. So you can again, it's very simple. So shift in demand curve from DD to D1. DD ये है center 1 and D1. Upward shift in the demand curve. So demand is increasing, the price is stable. It's constant, right? So it is increase in demand. And whereas this side the demand is decreasing, so this is decrease in demand. So just to write increase in demand 1 mark, decrease in demand 1 mark you are getting. Or कुछ explain नहीं करना है that what is decrease in demand, what is increasing. You are not supposed to write in detail about that. Just increase and decrease in demand, that's it. Then we have mentioned any two factor which leads to shift in demand curve. So any two factors like say favorable changes in the fashion and all, or favorable changes in government or any technology, so that government policy, that also you can write. Increase in the income of the consumer. So any 2 points you have to write here, and just write the point, explain in just 2 to 3 statements, that's it. No need to explain all the points in detail. Next is the unseen passage. So unseen passage mein you can get all your answers in this particular passage only. Okay, so what is fiscal policy of government? The answer is very much there in your this particular paragraph. So fiscal policy of your government is about the tax and expenditure. It's mentioned here. So you just have to write that only. No need to explain in detail. How can the government boost the economy through fiscal policy? So that is also mentioned somewhere. You can just go through. So basically boosting means by decreasing the taxes and increasing the expenditure. So that answer is also mentioned in the passage only. So just take that particular statement and write as it is. A contractionary fiscal policy. So during inflation it is used. So it is also mentioned here, the last one. Okay, so what is the impact of decrease in personal tax on consumption? So personal tax kam hua hai, so obviously our consumption is going to increase. So consumption would increase. Done. So 1 mark ka hai. 2-3 statements are more than enough here. Okay, then the last, that is question number 6, which you have to explain in detail. And here, as sir mentioned, that this question is like very important, that is explain the law of demand with exceptions. Sometime you will find explain the law of demand with assumptions also. So यहाँ पे तुम्हें पूरा का पूरा आंसर इन डिटेल लिखना है. Now again, I was checking one of the paper this January month only. A statement was there, but no diagram, no figure. That table was also not there. No definition. So you can't expect more than 3 to 4 mark in such answers. So you have to give proper introduction. You have to write proper statement. You have to again mention that D is the function of price, that is P. Then you have to draw the table. You have to draw the diagram. इतना ही लिखने में तुम्हें at least 4 marks cover हो जाते हैं. Fine. Then you need to explain the table and the diagram properly. Then write exceptions. Now exceptions are there in your book. Some 5 to 6 exceptions are mentioned. So give the heading and write properly. Now one more very important thing, although exceptions are asked in the exam, but you must write assumptions. But no need to explain the assumptions in detail. Just write the head points of the assumption. Say the income is constant, okay, or government policy is constant. Fashion is constant, no change in that fashion and all. So just write 4 to 5 head points of the assumptions, but you must write assumption. And if the question is explain the law of demand with assumptions, then obviously you have to write all the assumptions properly with proper explanation. But do write exceptions, just the head points. No need to again explain the exception in detail. Just head points likh ke chhod do. Fine. So plan this particular question properly. Practice it at least 2 to 3 times, and you can send your write-ups and answers to us on PDF, or you, if you wish, you can visit the college also. Fine. Then explain the income and expenditure method of calculating your national income with precaution. So again, write what is national income. So just give the overview of what is national income. Again, introduction just in few statements. Then write that's the method of calculating national income, income and expenditure method. So write about income method with its formula and write its precaution. Same with expenditure method, explain what is expenditure method with its formula and then the precautions. Fine. तो income and expenditure के precautions साथ में मत लिखो, अलग अलग you have to write separately. Okay, so this question is of 8 marks. So this is like 4 marks income and 4 marks expenditure. So accordingly, you need to write 4 plus 4. Then explain with suitable diagram and schedule also. You have to explain law of DMU. So it is very much like your law of demand only. Give the statement or the introduction, then the statement, and then draw the table and the diagram, explain the table and the diagram, and then explain the assumptions in detail, because here in question you can find assumptions. तो detail में लिखना है assumption, जितने भी assumptions हैं you have to write in detail, plus you have to list down the exceptions also. So there are exceptions in DMU that also you need to write. Done. So exceptions, only the head points, no need to explain in detail. Okay, then you can score, say no, you don't you won't score 8 on 8 in this particular question, but at least 7 you can score if you have written properly. Diagram is there, table is there, explanation is there, exceptions are there, assumption say the head points are there, say when I'm talking about say law of demand. Okay, तो वैसे करोगे तो at least you can score 7 marks. Done. So this is it about this question paper. And if you have any doubts, you can write on the chat box so that we can discuss that also. And sir, anywhere if I missed out, so you can just tell this.
ममता, बहुत अच्छा से बताया आपने, and आपका experience and आपका knowledge reflected in this session. Thank you very much. Students will definitely get the benefit. I am also thanking Ruchi madam and Shivani Parab madam. And of course, we will, Namrata, we will answer your questions. First, I missed to thank our own student, Vaibhav Gupta. Vaibhav, are you there? Vaibhav?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so thank you very much for arranging this meeting. And
No problem, sir.
I'm
My
very
pleasure.
much thankful to our librarian Santosh Patil for helping us to have this moderator session successfully. So convey our regards to Patil sir. Also, I think he must have left at this stage, but unko bhi bata dena Vaibhav. We are thankful.
Okay, sir.
Economics department is thankful to him also. And अभी हम एक एक क्वेश्चंस तुम्हारे पूछते हैं, क्या क्या है चैट बॉक्स में, क्या क्या है. ममता मैडम विल आल्सो आंसर. एंड आल्सो ऑन डायग्राम मीन ग्राफ स्केल इज कंपलसरी. सो देखो, अगर टेबल तुम करते हो तो अकॉर्डिंगली टेबल यू ट्राई टू ड्रॉ द डायग्राम, एंड इट्स बेटर दैट 8 मार्क्स के लिए तो डेफिनेटली यू ट्राई टू टेक स्केल. लॉ ऑफ डीएमयू है या प्राइस डिटर्मिनेशन अंडर परफेक्ट कंपटीशन है, विद स्केल करोगे तो अच्छा है. बट इन जनरल किधर भी डायग्राम निकालते हो तो नो नीड ऑफ टेकिंग proper measurement. Only thing, mention what you are measuring on x-axis, what you are measuring on y-axis. Next. Of course, माही, तुमने अभी तो कुछ जरा खुद ही इवेल्युएट किया है ना. नेक्स्ट. और क्या डिफिकल्टी है, फील फ्री टू आस्क.
You can ask the question on general chat, like to everyone, so
Yeah.
that sir can also see your question and I can also see your question. So
अन्विता ने पूछा है कि ऑथर का नाम नहीं लिखा बट डेफिनेशन बरोबर लिखा, चलेगा. ओके, बट इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर दैट यू राइट ऑथर्स नेम. ओके, जरा जनरल सबको लिखेगा तो अच्छा रहेगा.
So Shreya is asking 3.5 sides of pages do for 8 marks.
3 sides.
3.5.
3.5 to
front-
4 is perfectly all right. Perfectly all right. It is adequate length. Okay, and you will be able to complete in stipulated time period. A definition has to be an exact word, huh, Arya? Definition cannot be written in your own words. Okay. So what maybe say Maurice Dobbs says, या फिर Carl Shapiro says, or maybe say Alfred Marshall, you cannot write the law of demand in your own words. It has to be in exact words.
Saloni is asking a very good question. For exceptions in law of demand, do we have to draw the exceptional diagram curve?
Yeah.
So you must draw it. I think I skipped that part. So
Yes.
you must draw that diagram and then explain and make a draw general diagram for all the points so that you can do on top of that points and all, and you must draw that diagram.
नीलय का भी शायद क्वेश्चन का आंसर हो गया. In given goods, we have to explain all with diagram. Yes. Okay, how with fall in price, demand declined, and why this happened. Okay, what happened in England when price of bread declined, demand for bread declined, why this happened, and so on. And the concept of real income. Next, और कुछ पूछना है? Yes. Okay,
Can
go ahead.
can you share proper? Yeah, we'll be sharing you the proper PDF format where that reduced portion is specifically mentioned. That we'll be doing. Yeah. We'll share that PDF.
Yeah. तन्वी, diagram in distinguish is compulsory. मतलब कोई distinguish में नहीं है. But निकालोगे तो expansion and increase in demand में diagram निकालोगे तो no one can cut marks. So it's better. I will advise you to go for distinguishes where there is a diagram, where there is a formula, so that will ensure more marks. Full marks, I say.
Rohan is asking, while writing agree, disagree, do we need to leave a line between the points? So yeah, once you have finished one particular point, then leave one line, then start with point number 2. So it is basically presentation looks better and it gives clarity also to us, also to the examiners also. Instead of
Yes.
writing everything together, better to have a proper presentation.
Yeah.
And you can also underline the main words, main points and all. Like for example, law of demand, other things being constant. So there and then only you underline it. You should not wait till the end कि मैं pencil से करूँगा या black pen से करूँगा. That time only with the same pen only you can just underline it.
Rishabh is asking that how many minimum points. Don't think of minimum. Try to cover as many points as possible. If you can't write all points, so as madam also rightly said, that write some points properly and just mention remaining. So create that impression that you know everything. Okay.
Isha is asking diagram. No, Isha, don't explain the diagram in distinguished one. Just draw the diagram. That's it. But x-axis and y-axis write properly.
Yes, you can use bullets, Shreya, no problem.
Dheeraj is asking, can we use tables and diagram to answer agree? Yes, of course. If the question is where you have diagrams and table, then you must draw that. Like
Okay.
for example, DMU. If it has come in agree disagree, then you must draw diagram and table.
Mansi is asking, can we make perfectly inelastic diagram for habitual goods? Now here your understanding of the subject matters. See, you have studied perfectly inelastic demand curve in types of price elasticity. Okay. And you can use that. Habitual goods have perfectly inelastic demand. So you can always apply that knowledge elsewhere also. Okay. So that's why we have been asked to give proper weightage to the understanding of the subject shown by the student. You can.
Rohan is asking the pen. So Rohan, preferably blue pen only you use.
Mamta, not preferably. It is only blue.
Okay, it's only blue. Fine.
See, I will tell you. Okay, examiners correct the with red ink.
Yeah.
Moderators
Black.
go through the paper with black, and the chief moderator with green.
Okay.
So students are supposed to write only in
blue
ink pen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tanvi is asking something like diagram is time consuming. Let me just read the question. Tanvi, diagram is time consuming. So we can write 4 to 5 points other than diagram.
Yeah, that is fine. And the diagram will ensure full marks. So that is your choice.
Tanvi, if the question is TU and MU, the relation, then you cannot skip diagram. You must draw diagram. Chahe
Yeah.
time lage, nahi lage. If you are not doing that diagram and table, you are going to lose marks. Like out of 4, you will score only 1 or 1.5 marks, not more than that. So some question it is mandatory. Like law of demand, diagram is must. Right, so somewhere like 1 mark ke liye kuch question hai, so there if you are not drawing and you are simply writing 4 to 5 points, then that's perfectly fine. But for 4 marks and plus, you must draw the diagram. Paragraph format, point format is point format, except for meaning and definition, everything should be in point. An explanation of diagram can be in paragraph, rest everything point. In question number 6, if I write only 1 point as answer, then how much I will get? Dipti, I didn't get your question. So she's asking in question number 6, if I write only 1 point as answer, then how much I will get?
See, as far as question number 6 is concerned, is bifurcated into say 8 marks. So statement of the law and formula and introduction, 2 marks are assigned. Table and diagram, 2 marks are assigned. Assumptions maybe 2 marks. Okay, and exception 2. So what you are writing, on that basis we give marks. So don't think of writing only 1 or 2. Try to write proper, but again, as I told you, that if you are covering some part, you will get some marks. And the normal tendency is that examiner are normally happy to give marks, provided that you write some few relevant things. So few things are written, you will get 1 mark or so. Jara jada likha, 2, 3, 4. It depends how much you are covering. Okay.
Dhruvin is asking, can we draw a web diagram to jot down the head points?
Yes, yes. But it consume bit time,
It
because
takes
you,
time.
yes, you will write the point and again you write the points with explanation. So it is your choice. If you have enough speed, you can think of.
So before exam, maybe you can solve 1 or 2 paper, then you will come to know like how much time you are taking.
Yes, and they can come to college and get assessed from our
Yes,
teachers.
yes.
We are always ready for that. Only
How
thing
many
you,
points? So question is, how many points should we write for 4 marks?
ये पॉइंट में हमने बार बार बताया है कि हाउ मेनी मार्क्स यू वांट, यू टेल मी. तुमको कम मार्क्स चाहिए, कम लिखो. तुमको ज्यादा चाहिए, फुल चाहिए, तो योर फोकस शुड बी कवरिंग ऑल द पॉइंट्स. एंड इफ यू कांट राइट ऑल द पॉइंट्स, देन एटलीस्ट क्रिएट इंप्रेशन दैट यू नो ऑल द पॉइंट्स. सो 10 पॉइंट्स है तो 6-7 लिख के बाकी का 3 लेबल करो. दैट्स ऑल. ओके.
One question, in 8 marks we draw graph and schedule, so is it necessary to explain? So yeah, 8 marks it is necessary to explain the table and the graph. It's necessary. If question is asked for 4 marks and we have 10 to 12 points. So Rohan, again we are the same question. So if 10 to 12 points are there, at least you can explain 6 to 7 points properly. Then just write the heading of remaining 4 to 5 points. Explain first 5-6 points properly.
Yeah. One more thing, students are asking me, explain the law of demand with exception assumptions लिखने का क्या. नहीं, तो मैडम ने बताया कि assumptions briefly लिखो, because in March 2020 में board में this question was asked and board had assigned 2 marks for assumptions. Now you may say, sir, a law of demand with exception पूछा है, why to write assumptions? So it law 8 marks, तो assumption आना ही है. And if the question is asked, explain the law of demand with assumptions, you explain assumptions properly and just, okay, very briefly write exceptions. Okay. So I told you that 8 mark के लिए you try to cover all the aspect. I'm not saying that assumptions be elaborate, explain करो. Just mention it. Income should remain the same. Price of substitute should remain the same. And this and that should remain the same. Okay. but and exception elaborate karo. Okay. Next. Rajiv is asking, sir, in distinguish, if we write 3 points only, अभी मैडम ने एक distinguish discuss किया time utility and something place utility or something, उधर देखो तो 3 ही point मिलता है. So there are distinguishes where you don't have more points, तो 3 point को भी तुमको 2 में से 2 मिलेगा. But TU, MU लो, expansion and increase लो, या monetary policy, fiscal policy लो, maybe say microeconomics, macroeconomics. So there you have 5, 6, 7, 8 points. We are not saying that write 5, 6, 7, 8 points, but at least 4 points तो लिखो with definition. Okay, and जिधर नहीं है तो again you have choice. 5 में से ऐसा distinguishes select करो where you have more number of points. But else, if there are 3 points only, then be assured 2 out on 2. Don't worry.
Shreya is asking question number 1, do we write correct option as well as the statement?
हाँ, तो आपने भी बताया ममता मैडम कि अगर पूछा है मैंडेटरी है कि स्टेटमेंट लिखो तो लिखो, नहीं तो फिर क्वेश्चन नंबर 1A एंड उसके अंडर जो सब क्वेश्चंस है अकॉर्डिंगली दे कैन राइट आंसर, बट बी केयरफुल. Okay.
Read the question carefully, basically. And
और कुछ?
Yeah, many questions are there. Ma'am, can you tell us about time management? How much time should one take to do each question? So that is already covered by Sir. Sir has nicely prepared one slide where Sir has mentioned that for 8 marks, I think 20 minutes should be the time limit, right? So you just before exam try to solve 2 question papers properly. One question number 1, then reverse order, say 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1 in a proper format. Then see how much time you are taking and all, and try to speed up your writing and all. So you will be able to finish on time, because now the paper pattern is changed. We have this question number 5 where I think you will need hardly 10 minutes to complete that question number 5, because it's just unseen passage, figure or table. So that time you can utilize in some other question. So I think 3.5 hours is more than enough to complete the exam. Just the thing is you need practice. So for that you have to solve 2 to 3 papers before your exam.
मैंने कुछ पूछा है कि if there are 8 points for 8 marks, what we should write extra? Don't write anything extra. Okay, but definition तो ठीक से लिख सकते हो, flow chart बना सकते हो, improve the presentation. As far as possible, stick to textbook. एक आधा point additional लिख सकते हो, but बहुत कुछ don't try to deviate from the text. Text में दिया है, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वही लिखो.
And Dhruvin asking, in assertion and reasoning, do we have to write the statement also? So again, you need to read the question carefully. If it's mentioned rewrite, then rewrite. Otherwise, options are available. You just directly write the options.
Correct.
Again, the same question. Question number 1, do we write the statement and all? Do we need
read questions carefully? Instructions.
Yeah. Okay, Bhumi is saying that it's a bit difficult to come to college to get our paper. So Bhumi and other students also, we have already given you the flexibility that you can write your paper and send it to us on our WhatsApp and all. So we can just go through and let you know where you are lacking and all. But the thing is, you people are not doing. I think in my division also many a time I have told you to send me the paper, but I have till now not received even a single paper. So you must write and send it to us on mail or on WhatsApp.
Secondly, Mamta madam, if they are coming to the college for language orals or mathematics practicals, or that matter economics and BK and OC ABT, they can coordinate respective teachers. Okay, and accordingly they can come, and 15-20 minutes में एक paper हो जाता है check करके. So we can check in front of them so that they will have a better idea where they are going wrong. But they have to coordinate with the respective teachers.
Yes.
Yeah. We are that way always available for correcting. And they need not have to travel only for correcting the answer paper. But whenever they are coming to the college, they can do it.
Yeah, you can bring your paper. Siddharth is asking if some question is relevant, but it's not there in the textbook, can examiner consider it as a point or not?
Why not? You have shown good understanding of the subject.
Yeah, and knowledge, extra knowledge also.
सिद्धांत, अभी तुमने सामने पेपर चेक कर लिया तो तुमको ये बेटर आइडिया आया रहेगा कितना मिल सकता है, और एक अच्छा पेपर लिख के आना अलग. बोर्ड का पेपर हो गया एक 4 अक्टूबर, मैंने मेरे डिवीजन के ग्रुप में डाला था, ऑल टीचर मस्ट हैव सेंट. ओके, तो वो अटेम्प्ट करो बोर्ड का टाइम लगा के, एंड वेन एवर यू आर कमिंग टू द कॉलेज वो मैं सामने चेक करके दूंगा. ऑल टीचर्स विल डू इट. हाँ सिद्धार्थ, डू इट. हाँ
Siddhant, I think same question that in law of demand, if question is law of demand with exception for 8 marks, then you must write down the headings of assumption that you have to do. It is must.
yes.
And if assumptions are asked, then write the head points of the exception. But explain the assumptions in detail.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Flowchart presentation, yeah. Yeah, sir.
Our doubt है करो. I think
Yeah,
we
we
have
are
covered
almost
everything,
done,
and we same questions ही आ रहे हैं.
Hmm.
So और कुछ पूछने तो पूछो, otherwise in 2-3 minutes we will end the meeting.
Correct.
Okay. So on behalf of Department of Economics, I wish very good luck, best wishes to your examination. ABT के बारे में भी जरा सा अच्छा से पढ़ाई करो, and we want every one of you to get 20 on 20 in your ABT. Okay, we are happy, but thoda sa efforts on your side is also important. Okay, and any help you need, you can always communicate to us on WhatsApp, or that matter whenever you come to the college site. Normally we are available in the afternoon 12:30 onwards up to 4:30, 5 o'clock tak. But coordinate with us and meet us, we will help you, and everyone is going to get good marks. Don't get panic, डरने का बात ही नहीं है. Okay, and that way, let me tell you, marks तो अच्छा आना चाहिए, but marks are not everything. बराबर है, कम ज्यादा बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स है. तुमने अच्छा पढ़ाई किया, समटाइम्स कुछ हो सकता है. So you should be happy with yourself कि I did my best. Okay, and then definitely marks भी अच्छा आएगा. Long run में what matters is knowledge. Okay, and that is more important. But anyways, you will get very good marks in your examination, and we know that you have done your best. Okay, but still you feel कि थोड़ा और कुछ मदद चाहिए, तो we are always available. You can text us anytime. You can come to college. Just coordinate so as to avoid any inconveniences. So on behalf of Economics Department, okay, we wish you good luck. Mamta, you want to say something, please?
Sir, Ayushi, I think she's asking one question. Question number 2. 5 is the answer contraction in demand. Let me just see question number 2. Ayushi, it's about percentages mentioned, right? So wherever percentage is mentioned in change or in demand and price and all, so it is elasticity concept.
Yeah. Bhumika, best wishes. Do well. Or koi? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are still asking questions.
Yeah. Let them.
Yeah, ma'am, given goods point, should we explain in brief 2 to 3 sentences for 8 marks is enough. So given goods is basically exception. So again, you draw the diagram, and you need to explain in detail, like in the particular question paper. Here we have asked explain a law of demand with exception. So there you need to explain in detail. And if assumptions are asked, then just the head points. Again, the same questions are coming up.
Yeah. So Anvita,
Last question.
last question, lo Arik.
About Shreya is asking something, but I didn't get it.
Last question will be textual, right? Explain the situation. मतलब ABT last question will be textual. Yes, very much. Textual ही रहेगा. Text के बाहर कुछ नहीं रहेगा. Don't worry.
Okay, it's ABT. I was
ABT.
like about last question.
Yeah. तो ABT में जो last question है, analyze the situation. वो textual रहेगा.
And easy rahega. Don't worry. Don't take so much of stress. We are going to set a very easy paper so that you can score at least 19 or 20 marks. So uski chinta mat karo. But you prepare yourself.
Yes, yes.
Is anything else? Question bank we are not going to provide. Sorry.
एक क्वेश्चन है रिया का, मेकिंग ऑन द क्वेश्चन पेपर फॉर करेक्ट ऑल्टरनेटिव्स मार्किंग. सो क्वेश्चन दे सुनो एवरीवन, क्वेश्चन पेपर पे कुछ भी मार्किंग इज ट्रीटेड एज कॉपी. सो डोंट राइट एनीथिंग. पेंसिल से भी करेक्शन इज नॉट अलाउड because question papers can be easily passed on to someone else. Okay, so your intention will be ki you are trying to copy. So don't write. Even tick mark is also not allowed. Max to max tick mark मतलब question number 1 attempt किया वो है, but 1A का ये answer है, ये answer है. Don't do that, Riya and everyone. Sometimes some examiner may, बराबर है, doubt you, suspect you as trying to get indulged into copying. Avoid it. Question paper पे कुछ नहीं लिखने का except your seat number. That's all.
So Rohan is asking, question bank will be beneficial, the one which is released by board.
Yeah, let me tell you, question bank ठीक से देखोगे तो it covers practically everything. So करो ना, अच्छा ही है, and उसमें से आने का chances ज़्यादा ही रहेगा. पहला उतना करो 100 मिल, बराबर है, and उसके बाद whatever time permits, because अभी there is you are running short of time. तो अभी पहला क्या है, बोर्ड का टेक्स्ट, what you call टेक्स्ट बुक से अच्छा से किया, बोर्ड का क्वेश्चंस देखो सब कवर हो रहा है कि नहीं. इफ यू फील कि नहीं, फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल टेल यू, लास्ट एग्जामिनेशन मार्च ने अक्टूबर 20, तो बोर्ड ने एक डिस्टिंग्विश पूछा था, पार्शियल इक्विलिब्रियम एंड जनरल इक्विलिब्रियम, विच इज नॉट इन द टेक्स्ट बुक. बराबर, टेक्स्ट बुक में पहला चैप्टर में देखो क्या दिया, माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स एंड मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स. सो देन यू विल हैव टू प्रिपेयर सच आंसर्स. उसका आंसर पार्शियल एंड जनरल का माइक्रो और मैक्रो से बहुत अलग नहीं है, बट देन यू विल हैव टू राइट फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. व्हाट इज पार्शियल इक्विलिब्रियम, व्हाट इज जनरल इक्विलिब्रियम, माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स फॉलोज partial equilibrium, and then macroeconomics follows general equilibrium model, slicing method, lumping method, based on assumption, not based on assumption, and so on. Okay, so but then some questions are there जो ऐसा straight way textual question नहीं है.
And
Okay.
also there is one more question, I think in 8 marks. It's elasticity chapter. Explain elasticity of demand, something like that. And there the students normally write price elasticity only, and they don't
Correct.
cover that income and cross elasticity. So
Correct.
that also is
Yeah, I will just talk on that. Ki if question is asked, what are the types of elasticity, then you need to write income elasticity, cross elasticity, and price elasticity, and more focus on price elasticity.
Yeah, it's
But
like
if
2 plus 2 plus 4, right?
Yes, you're right, Mamta. वो हमको मालूम है, स्टूडेंट को मालूम नहीं होते हैं, हमको मॉडल आंसर में. But if question is asked, what are the types of price elasticity, then focus will be solely on 5 types of price elasticity with definition of price elasticity. Okay, and with 5 diagrams, no doubt. Okay, so Mamta, shall we conclude today's session?
Yes, sure. Yeah. All the best, everyone.
Yes, yes. Hope everyone is benefited from this session. Thank you very much. And we conclude for the day. I request Vaibhav Gupta to end the meeting. Thank you once again.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Convey our regards to Patil, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaibhav, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and happy birthday to Mamta ma'am. Yeah.
Thank
Today
you
is
so
her
much, sir.
birthday. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, yes. God bless. Bye bye.
Yeah.